How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to what is being called Homebrewers episode 9.5, a one-shot that we are doing because we're not doing a Homebrewers episode this month. As always, I am your host, and tonight, Dungeon Master, everyone be scared, I am Greg. Hello, everyone. We are joined here by May. Say hello.
Hello.
And we're joined here by Mira. Say hello. So, we don't have an episode of the Homebrewers. There was scheduling stuff that happened. And then some other personal stuff that happened with a couple of our party members. As I take a big sip of my drink. But, that's why we don't have an actual, next episode. The next episode is going to be during Extra Life. But, we decided to do this one shot. Do a little spooky Halloween time vampire hunting thing. It's going to be pretty cool. So, a couple announcements. Next week, no podcast. We are going to be basically not available the whole weekend. And May and I were going to be at the unofficial Final Fantasy XIV gathering on Sunday. And Saturday, I have family engagements, so I will not be able to make it. Which, that happens. But, so we're going to be doing the next episode of the HR Office podcast is going to be going live on, with my calendar will come up. It'll be going live on Sunday, November 10th. And then the following episode is going to be our Extra Life episode during Extra Life on the 16th. We're going to have everyone there. We're going to be dropping memes. It's going to be dank. It's going to be pretty awesome. So, I think that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed the Hardest Reset video that came out on Saturday. It was a lot of fun. May, really quick, how much fun did you have making that video?
A lot.
A lot? Mm-hmm. A lot of fun. Yeah, it was really cool. That Halloween event was really, really great. And we got to embarrass you being Emmerich. Mm-hmm. And you blowing kisses straight to his dick. Mm-hmm. So, pretty great. So, alrighty. I'm not gonna I wanna push this as long as I can, but I know we have to jump on the fuck into it because I don't know. I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous. Last time we did a one shot, it was way different because we basically were playing us as people. And it was just creating little puzzles and then doing the small bit of story that it was. And this, creating a world from the ground up, I mean, it's I already had respect for DMs, but what the fuck, dude? Holy shit. It's pretty wild. But anyway, I'm gonna shut the fuck up and we're gonna start this one shot and we're gonna power right the fuck on into this. Thank God I wrote out my whole introduction to get me into the swing of things. So let's get into what we are calling the Vampire Hunt one shot, D&D one shot here for the Homebrewers. It is the 45th night of the fall solstice in the town of Ivanora. The light cold breeze has started to blow, adding to the already cold temperatures that have become too common for this time of year. To the outsiders, Ivanora is known for their platinum and their gold trade and exports, but to those who walk these streets daily know it for something vastly different. Around 900 years ago, stories of a lone vampire holding up in the abandoned castle on the outskirts of town started to spread. Soon, the rumors evolved from a lone vampire to a family of vampires, quickly giving birth to a fabled vampires of Ivanora. It needs to loop. This thing needs to loop. And it's fucking hell. This thing needs to... I wish this thing would loop. It's not going to loop. That's fine. Yeah, this is a great start. While the history of said vampires would remain a mystery at first, a mere 100 years would change that forever with the intrigue of a lone human male by the name of John Doe Fairnights, meeting an interesting-looking Dhampir female named Synthara Lahabar. The two, whose romantic affair would become public just months after meeting, would birth the beginning of the Fairnight family proper. Due to the townsfolk's lack of understanding of Dhampirs and their true nature, and the general hatred thrown towards their kind, the Fairnights would take up residence in the fabled abandoned castle in an attempt to live peacefully among the townfolk. using their time in order to refurbish and rebuild this once abandoned castle into the now known Fairnight Hold. In an effort to make peace with the ways, if I could say words, in an effort to make peace with the way that Dampier's need to survive, the city guard, known as the Ivanoran Crest, agreed to drop off the bodies of those that fell in battle so they could feed without having to go on to unsuspecting townsfolk in Ivanora. This pseudo-peace would maintain until about 100 years ago, when rumors started to spread that the eldest of the current Fairnight children, Emery Fairnight, started to feed on citizens of Ivanora. While it is unknown where these rumors started, it quickly spread like wildfire, only increasing weeks later with talks of a supposed high elven woman being ripped away and punished for being an accomplice to the various murders that were being rumored to have happened. Some people claimed that the Sanctum of Light and Law, the religious followers of Flotus, Flotus. That was such a great DM. Flotus, the god of light and law, were involved with this, but these rumors were never exactly confirmed. As these rumors began to become more widespread, the Ivanoran Crest decided to take matters into their own hands and storm the castle themselves, slaughtering what they believed to be the remaining Fairnights, thinking that the bloodline had finally been wiped from existence for good. That is, until about 3 weeks ago, where a sighting of the eldest Fairnight was supposedly reported up near the abandoned Fairnight Hold. Upon hearing this report, the Ivanoran Crest decided it's time to take action and finish what they had started just years before. Dun dun dun! Our story proper, however, begins on a very chill evening. Very chill evening. Well, we already established it's a chill evening. Our story proper begins just outside of a small tavern by the name of the Sleeping Pike. A middle-aged dwarven male stands at a closed-door entrance, clutching a list of names in his right hand, scanning both sides of the road. It's not long before a wood elf female seen on the northern end of the road is starting to walk in this direction, making her presence known to the dwarf standing at attention at the Sleeping Pike. May, if you could go ahead and explain your character and describe what she looks like.
Okay, so she is an elf, I think.
She's a wood elf.
She's a wood elf, and she has long hair that's dark red and light red, and green eyes, and she's wearing chainmail. With her, she has a series of weapons, a long bow on her back. She also has a crossbow, and she also carries a spear.
Right.
And
what is your character's name?
It is Naria Berduin.
Berduin. Yes. Naria has a history with Ivanora. Before living here, you were born and raised in a village by the name of Yarin, but your wanderlust, got the best of you, as you decided to leave home to really find what it was that wanted you out of your home. I had a gas bubble that was disgusting. That was bad. You arrived in the city of Ivanora about 60 years ago, and you found a good living through the legal mercenary business, taking contracts and helping the Crest, or taking contracts from the Crest Board, which is found outside of the Ivanoran Crest outpost in the center of town. You build up a good rapport with the Crest, quickly becoming a reliable sword for hire within the town. As you approach, you recognize the dwarf as one Tholaru Largefall, who has greeted you many times before with each contract that he's worked. He immediately starts a knock that you're all too familiar with, to create the actual doorway to where you're going to be meeting. As he's making the knock, however, he looks over at you. Oh, what contract you got here tonight?
It's one to supposedly slay a vampire.
Oh, they put you on the cleansing one. I know they had a monster hunt one too, but you're really on the cleansing.
Yes.
That's a pretty big pretty big deal. Just stay cautious. As he says that, he opens up the door. And you're very familiar with this hallway. You see a light, ethereal light around the doorway. And as you start to walk down into the doorway, it leads you to a set of stairs. You know what they do with this doorway because that list is important to who actually goes down into this basement area. Those who aren't on the list, or those who are just here for an actual quick drink, are let into what is called the tavern proper. It's the first floor, just a standard tavern. But down below, using special magic, they have a secret doorway that goes into the basement. And down here is where all of the guards and all of the potential mercenaries come down to meet in pseudo-privacy, or at least as much privacy as you can. As you get down to the bottom of the stairs, it opens up into a smaller, kind of cozier tavern. There is a bard that is playing in the back, which is it varies if they have some sort of bard to kind of liven up the mood. Usually when there is a bard, it means that the air is pretty tense. And from what you've been told about this contract, it's a little bit tense. It's very tense. Like that's the only way that I can really explain it. As you look around it, you see to your left, you have an elderly elven woman cleaning a bar, the bar on the top. She is the bartender. You have sitting in the left corner, opposite of where the bard is performing, you have a half-orc and a halfling that are sitting next to one another. People aren't usually great at discerning gender for half-orcs, but you can tell in the bust that it's a female half-orc and that it is a male halfling that are sitting together. To the right, you have the two Ivanoran Crest guards that are standing at attention at a door that remains closed. Where would you wish to go?
I'll go to the bartender.
Go to the bartender. You walk up to the bartender. The bartender takes a look and goes, Naria, it's been a moment. How have you been? What can I get for you?
Give me your strongest.
Strongest? Oh. You know, when I found out that you were going to be on that, the cleansing, and she pours you her strongest shot of whiskey, sets the shot down, and you know at this point, if you're down here, the drinks are on the house, because they're kind of, in a sense, loosening you up to, for whatever contract you're about to take. What made you take the cleansing one? I usually know you as like the hunter.
I heard the pay was good, so I decided to come.
That is very true. They are paying top dollar for this contract.
Is it really that dangerous?
It's weird. They make it sound dangerous, but I think the danger is more in the history of the contract, less in what's actually going on. But just on the safe side, I would say, obviously, keep your wits about you. They only got 2 other people for this contract, so...
Only 2?
Yeah. Usually go in a band of 8 to 16 people, but this is only 2 other people showed up. I heard rumors that they picked specifically who they wanted for this mission, so it could be on purpose, or it could just be that it's that dire.
I guess they must be placing their hopes on 3 warriors.
Yeah, heard they had a former clergyman going there as well, so we'll see how that goes. I mean, they are calling it a cleanse. She smiles and grabs a light pastry. It's got light vanilla topping on it. She knows it's one of your favorites. Here, just enjoy that as you wait.
Thank you.
All right. And where will you go from there? You just going to sit down, or do you want to interact with anybody else?
I'll sit down and just eat for now.
You sit down and eat for now. Okay, alrighty. So as you're sitting down and you're eating, one of the guards perks up over at you. It's a female human. She's got like shoulder length brown hair with light blonde highlights in it, pulled up in a very loose bun. Like you see the hairs falling out of the bun. She looks over and goes, "Don't get too comfortable. He's just finishing something up, and he'll be down here to, the general will be down here in order to let you know what's going on." and goes to attention as you nod over. Meanwhile, back at the top of the bar, at the door, Thurluir is looking around once more. It's about 5-10 minutes have gone by. He's checking his list again. No one else has rolled through. You are walking down a stone road, and you notice the dwarf at the front of the door, and this is your tell that you're at the right place. Mira, would you like to go ahead and describe your character for us?
So she's an elven druid. She has black hair with kind of red highlights, I guess you would say.
Uh-huh.
Pretty messy hair. She's got pale skin. She has blue eyes with like gold flecks in them. She's wearing like leather armor. She's got a quarterstaff and a did I say short bow or long bow? Short bow.
Short bow. Mm-hmm. And you're approaching the door. So as you approach the door, Thurluir looks, and he doesn't recognize you, so he holds his hand up. Hold. Name, please.
Ashryn.
Ah, Ashryn. Okay, give me one moment. He knocks twice, and on the third knock, he flicks his two fingers down, and that seemingly triggers a light blue aura to start shining from the outside of the door. He opens the door for you, says, right this way. Just down I'm forgetting which voice I use for him. Right down there. Just go down the stairs and you'll see what you need to see. So you go down. As you go down the stairs, opens up to the bar. You see an elderly elven woman cleaning, just sitting there looking around. Notices you, smiles, and gives you a nod. You see a wood elf woman sitting at a table, kind of like catty corner to the bar. She's feasting on her pastry, and you've already finished your shot, I would assume. You know, it's gonna be a long night, so you're like, I kind of need something. I would think at this point, would you have ordered an ale as well after you got that? All right, so she's got an ale, she's eating her pastry, trying to be as, I mean, this isn't your first rodeo, but I would assume there's kind of some questions rolling in your head about why are they, this is a very odd contract. In the right corner, you see this half-orc female looking around, and this halfling kind of just snickering. Not at you, but it seems like they're enraptured in some sort of conversation. You see the bard, which I never explained the bard. The bard is a really tall barbarian, which is ironic because you would think barbarian, he's or Goliath. He's a Goliath, and you would think a Goliath, they're barbarians, they're fighters, they're warriors. But this barbarian is very slim in his appearance. His clothes kind of hang loosely off, but his music playing is sublime. It's unlike anything that you've ever heard before. Especially with you, because they, on occasion, whenever they have a bard, it's generally like the elven male doing the limericks and the singing, or the human troupe that'll come together and play jovial music to try to liven up. But this choice alone seems very interesting. You, on the other hand, your experience with music is more with your tribe. And at least what you can remember, as in recent years, parts of your memory have seemed spotty. Spotty at best, that is. So you're looking around, you see the bard, you see the elven woman at the bar, you see our wood elf, you see the other two in the corner, and you look to your right and you see the two guards, one human male, one human female standing there. Where would you like to go?
I'm just gonna go like a little further down at the bar.
Further down at the bar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you're gonna be sitting at the bar?
Mm-hmm.
The elven woman notices you, kind of just go to the bar and, hi, can I get anything for you?
Do you have any cider?
Looks around, cider. She kind of moves around, sets something down and goes, okay, you're lucky lucky. We got this one bottle of cider. And just hands you the bottle and then hands you a glass to go with it and says, it's on the house. You first time? What's your name?
Ashryn.
Ashryn. That's a lovely name. Well, stay safe. You look like you're on the cleansing contract, correct? Alright. Keep your wits about you and stay safe. It's a very unique contract. And she goes back to the bar. Roll a perception check for me real quick. First dice roll of the game. Let's go.
Perception?
Yes.
15.
Oh, you're proficient in perception, so it's like,
We
thank
all
God.
are.
Yeah, so thank God for that. You notice that she's tense. Her conversation with Naria, kind of realizing how different this contract is. You realize that she's thinking something more is happening. You notice kind of the tension, but you don't know if it's just because it's been a long day or if it's because she knows something more. Where do you go from here?
Just gonna keep drinking.
You're just gonna drink at the bar?
It's cold outside.
So, as you watch this, because you're high elven woman. Yeah, as you see this high elven woman come up, you are, being the one that mulls through the contracts. The contracts always say who they have at the time, and you were the last one to sign up for the contract, although you thought that it was a fresher contract or maybe a last minute contract. They were still getting people in. So you saw 2 other names on the list. Go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Just the 20.
Grab the D20.
That one, yeah.
You're going to roll that. And then you're going to take, there's on your sheet, go ahead and point where perception is. Yeah.
13.
13? Okay, yeah, that's good enough. You hear the word Ashryn be spoken at the bar. And you recognize that name as that was one of the names that was on the detail. And you see that she's just kind of sitting there at the bar. Do you do or say anything?
I get up and go to the bar and sit next to her and ask her,
Go ahead and have the conversation.
Oh.
Go ahead and roleplay it.
are you Ashryn?
Who's asking who?
Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. I need a moment.
It's okay. It's okay. As you walk up to the bar, she inquires about the name, and he's like, he was asking. You would reply in the sense that you just say you all kind of saw this security detail in a sense. You were the first one to sign up for this, so you would not be familiar with the security detail like you would. So maybe this would be an opportunity to kind of explain why you would know who she is. Because you got to see the names on the security detail and you recognized her name. So basically, you guys are sitting together and I would assume there's maybe like this like weird tension. I would assume there'd be this weird tension. And you're kind of on edge because you're like, well, who's this person? And it's like you said who's asking, and she kind of was just like, well, you were on the security detail. And as you try to explain it, you're kind of like, maybe this is just a lost cause. I'll just wait. So, as you guys are sitting at the bar, you notice a lanky-looking drow individual walk in. Hood down. Gotta bring up what my character all looks like.
Greg, would you like to describe your
Greg,
character?
would you like to describe what your character looks like for a moment? He stands at 6'3", and drow elves are generally maybe like 5'8" to like 6 feet. So he's taller. He's also very skinny. There's not that much meat on his bones at all. He's very much a twink boy, as May would say. As he walks in, he notices you two at the bar, and he kind of like. He goes to walk, and then he backs up a little bit. And then he goes to walk again. And he kind of like sits at the bar, but then also kind of sits like like, you two are, like, the far two seats on the left. He sits on the far right seat, not wanting to make things awkward. He's just kind of looking around.
We're just an awkward party.
It's a very awkward party. Kind of looks over at you, and it's like, are you two here for the vampire contract? And then immediately you hear the elven will go, shh, the cleansing. Oh, sorry, the cleansing. Yeah, you two here for the cleansing?
Yes, are you?
Yeah. I'm Rinnill. What are your guys' names?
Naria.
Naria? And what is your name?
Ashryn.
Ashryn. Huh. Well, and he kind of slowly starts making, like, his way seat by seat by seat. He's really awkward. He doesn't know how to people at all. So he kind of finally makes his way sitting down next to you, Naria. And he sits and he looks over to you. He's like, "Are you the Naria?"
Depends on who's asking.
Well, you know, I've heard a lot about your contract work. I've heard you're just very reliable. When I heard you were going to be on this, I admittedly maybe was a little bit intimidated, not because of you as a person, mind you, just because, you know, you're very experienced and you know, I'm more used to clerical things, and I think I'm talking too much. Can I get an ale, please? And the elven woman is just smiling from ear to ear, and she's like, "Oh, of course," and sets the tankard of ale down, and he's like, "Thank you," and his hands shaking. He's chugging that bad boy. It's pretty great.
Liquid courage goes along.
Yeah, basically. Which is funny because he's a man of the cloth, but he's drinking that shit down pretty well. You guys kind of overhear some muttering going on over at the far corner of the bar where the half-orc and the halfling's at. Eventually you you two, and I'll roll perception checks again. So you just need the d20. Oh, okay. Hey. What'd you get?
21.
21?
20 plus 5.
You got natural 20?
Yeah, she did.
Nice. So you got 25, and I got for perception.
It's 5. No,
No. It's pretty good. 24. All right. So it's no secret that the half-orc female that's walking up right now is very, very angry, but you don't know if she's angry at you or just angry in general. She goes immediately up to you and goes, "Why aren't you on the hunt? We always rely on people like you. Why are you going on a fable quest?" And as soon as she says fable quest, the halfling kind of butts in. No. Don't worry. Sorry, my friends. You know, little on edge.
A little on edge.
Roll a history check for me. And I want to say
again.
with advantage because of your knowledge of the city. So you're going to roll twice and take the higher number.
So that was a 12. That was 17 plus.
And that's going to be plus history?
Plus 1. 18.
18. These two are fairly infamous amongst the mercenary community for their kind of unruly nature. This is the infamous duo of Ulzor the Halfling and Shosh the Half-Orc. They try to call themselves half and half at one point.
I was gonna make that joke.
But they realized that it wouldn't stick. It didn't sound intimidating. It just sounded stupid. So, you knowing this immediately, you're kind of just sighing and rolling your eyes at this point. Do you say anything to them?
I was, but I forgot.
I'll say this just so for your sake. You know of them. You've never done a contract with them before. So it's not like you know you know the stories of half and half. You don't know the truth of half and half.
You don't know the half and half of it.
You don't know the half and half of it. So he kind of like looks and notices your silence. Like, I'm Ulzor. And he's like shit-eating grin, puts his hand up to you to try to shake it. Do you shake it?
Yeah.
Shakes his hand. Nice to meet you, and you're Naria, correct?
Yes.
All right. Well, I hear you two are going on an interesting quest. I saw that on the board and almost shit my pants myself. So we're gonna go on a Tarask ourselves. Come on, let's go. And the half-orc's just like, Sosh won't forget this, and like walks away. What you also know of Ulzor and Shosh is that Shosh acts tough, but is a fucking baby.
He's a teddy bear.
Like she's a big old like teddy bear baby.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Well, Shosh is a female. It's hard to tell because half-orcs have a physical presence regardless. So, as you three commiserate a little bit, behind you hear an opening of the doors. And as you turn around, let me bring up my notes for this next bit right here, very transparent there. So, after you guys kind of commiserate for a little bit, you hear the sounds of doors opening and it catches your attention. All three of you turn around and you see the general of the Ivanoran Crest, whose name is Ryland Hall. Now, the two guards that were standing at the door were adorned in silver armor with gold trim and a blue crest on the left side. Left side. I had to make sure I was doing that correctly. This individual, however, has like a color swap, basically. All gold armor, light platinum trim around, and the blue crest is on the right side.
It's player 2.
It's basically like a smash alt. Basically. So he walks out with 2 pieces of paper. And he goes, alright. Who's here for the Tarask job? And you see the 2 approach. Oh, goody. Ulzor and Shosh. Hands them the piece of paper. I guess that explains why only 2 people signed up for this job. Don't get yourselves killed this time. Remember what happened last time. And Ulzor goes, we won't need any clerics this time. It's okay. And they're like, come on, let's go. And Shosh is like, Shosh will kill Tarask. And kind of like they go upstairs and out of the room.
And they were never heard from again.
I hope to one day be able to do a one-shot with Ulzor and Shosh, because it's pretty fun. So Ryland turns his attention to you 3 at the bar. And he walks up and he turns your attention to you, Naria. You're very familiar with General Hall. He took command about 15 years ago. And when he took command, a lot of the mercenary boards kind of changed. That became a lot more systematic. You remember when you came here 60 years ago. It was very kind of, there'd be a dude on the street and with a special pin on his cloak that would notate that is a crier for the board. But around 15 years ago, when General Hall came into power, when he came in to take over for running the army and
when he assumed command.
When he assumed command, that's a best way to say it. And words are weird. The Ivanoran Crest really kind of reformed how it did its mercenary contracts. They already had their army tactics and their army detail, pretty pristine, but they kind of beefed up how the mercenary work was handled. They created the job board, kind of streamlined a lot of things, and you've worked with him. You don't really know him per se outside of work. He's very much like that coworker that you know, or like that manager that you know gets shit done, but after a long day of a really difficult contract, you're kind of like, man, this fucker, I swear to God, I don't know where he gets these contracts. So he looks at you and goes, Naria.
General. Good to see you again.
Very good to see you again as well. I'm a little surprised, but at ease to know that we have one of, if not the most reliable mercenary in our ranks handling this contract. Looks over at Ashryn. And you are Ashryn, correct? Alright, this is your first time. Hopefully the city's been nice to you. And and looks over at Rinnill. Is like, a cleric. Well, it did say cleanse, and I'm not gonna not take the help. And Rennill's kind of sitting there awkward, like, thanks.
Don't judge a book by its cover, General.
You're right. Okay. So he kind of sits down, and the two guards are kind of standing there. So this contract, this one has some history to it. And I don't want to read the beginning of the campaign again, but he basically explains what happened 100 years ago. That there was this vampire that had started feeding. He calls it a vampire, but also will intermittently change the words vampire and vampire, just because he's kind of a vampire racist, I guess. I don't know. He has some history, just in the sense that his father was in the guard, or his grandfather was in the guards when he was closer. Like, his father had already been born and been alive for a while, and his grandfather was getting closer to retirement. And that whole ordeal happened. He was one day away from retirement.
So he has a personal grudge against these.
Not a personal. Well, no one was killed. It's just he's very familiar with the history of it. Or at least it seems. At least it seems. He starts, as he's explaining, you're noticing some key words, and key ways that he's saying things. In fact, I want you two to roll an insight check for me. Yes.
I suck. 10.
10? Okay.
I rolled a 5 plus a 5.
You just know that he's...
We did not do well.
7. Okay. All right. I rolled not high enough. I rolled a natural 4.
We suck.
It would have been crazy because if you rolled a 25, it would have been game over. But
it would have been game over.
Really?
Just ends the game.
Maybe so, maybe not. I'll explain at the end of the one shot.
The tavern explodes.
Tavern explodes. TPK. Game over. We can now go play video games tonight. No. You notice that he's got some choice words, but it almost just kind of sounds like maybe it was learned behavior because his grandfather and his father. His grandfather specifically saw a lot of people die in the process of storming the castle because the Fairnight family did not go out without a fight. His grandfather survived, although his throat did get cut in the fight and was left mute for the rest of his days. So there could be a personal grudge, but you're kind of just seeing it as he's trying to treat it as business as usual. So he finishes explaining the history of what's going on. So the actual detail of this event. We're going to lead you up to the abandoned Fairnight hold. We've already made sure that the gate itself is unlocked. You are to infiltrate and find Emery Fairnight. And we want his head. We don't want execution in front of the public. We don't even want to dirty our hands. You see him, you kill him. This Fairnight group needs to be eradicated 100%. And he's the last piece of this. Rinnill kind of perks up a little bit, and he's like, do you know if the house is okay, if there's gonna be anything bad there? And the general chuckles, and you know this chuckle is the chuckle when he thinks someone asked the stupidest question on the face of the earth. is there gonna be any traps? It's a fucking mansion, a castle even, to a fucking vampire. You think that it's going to be trapped? And Rennill's like, alright, fair point, I'm sorry. It's alright, you clerics. So, be on your guard and be careful because this Emery Fairnight is a very powerful man. Now, any questions for me before I send you on your way?
Do we know what he looks like?
You do. Or we do. I realized I was about to explain it as the DM when I can have the character explain it. You do. We do. It's been a long day. I do apologize. We do. He is a tall, pale-skinned individual. He's got very sharp points in his ears. His eyes are very unique. There is one red eye and one yellow eye. His hair is a very light crimson with silver. When he was last spotted, he had reports of silver streaks starting to show up in his hair. But who's to say that hasn't become any more? Clean-shaven man, very pointy chin, very skinny, very tall. Last time he was seen, and during the report a couple weeks ago, he was adorned in an all-black cloak, and it appeared that he had mismatched coloration in his hands. This could just be a fashion choice, or it could be what has been reported as some sort of rare arcane power. So be careful. Anyone else have any questions? Well, to answer the question I know that you're going to ask anyway, Naria, you are going to get paid immediately upon return of the contract with the Dampier's head.
But only if I bring the head.
Yeah, if you bring, like, his penis, like, I'm not going to, like, pay you at all, because that's just fucking disgusting.
Specifically that.
Listen, guys, I'm trying to...
What makes you think I'm going to bring that?
Listen, I'm trying to make a joke here, and it's been a long day, and,
Jenny, just stick to your day job.
Alright, and he hands you the paper with the contract, and on the papers has everything. He breaks down a rough sketch of what he looks like, or what he appears to look like, and you notice on the bottom right, you've got a little bit of a sketch of the what appears to be the castle. And as you're analyzing this, or as you start to analyze it, the female guard says, "Come on, right this way," and leads you up out of the stairs. And for the sake of brevity, we're going to immediately get you guys to
it's a map montage.
It's a map montage, basically. She basically is going to lead you guys to the front gate of the abandoned manor. And she's going to dip out, yeah, because she's not a part of the contract. Alright, I'm going to head out.
I did my job.
So as you guys are walking there, let me get some music changes in order to make it really, yeah, right. So, as you guys are walking down to the abandoned Fairnight stronghold, you looking at this map, you notice that the castle is pretty massive, at least how the schematic is drawn. But equally as big is the long courtyard, and other places. And it's kind of baffling because you have this just long entrance to this giant castle. And it looks like, if you read correctly and you look, and it's really kind of tiny and not written in the best handwriting, but it says graveyard near the front where the gate is. So you already know you're getting yourself into some shit. As you guys are walking, Rinnill kind of goes up to you too, and it's like, so, Dampier, huh?
Remind me again why you took this job.
My god said that I needed to come here and help take care of some business. And when I saw this contract, after a long bit of prayer, it was told to me that I'm going to take this contract and see this through to the end. You find this familiar because the reason why you took the contract is a little bit on similar terms. You have felt the push of nature push you to this city of Ivanora, and you can't tell why. As stated before, there's spots in your memory that are, like, just don't exist. You remember being young, being raised in your tribe. You remember growing up and starting to preach about your tribe. And around that time, it kind of becomes fuzzy. You don't remember where you kind of ended up. until you ended up back in in the woods, and you were being taken care of by an elderly gnome woman, and she kind of found you on the side and was wondering what was going on, and you kind of didn't know. And as you've been communing with nature, trying to kind of get back to, the nature of your druidic tribe's focus, nature, you felt nature pulling you in a direction. It was north, and it pulled you, and you just kept following that feeling. And when you got into the city and you got to the board and you read that contract, something told you, I have to go here. So you recognize that as soon as Rinnill explains that it was a will of God that pulled him to go here. Do you say anything? So as you guys are walking up to the gate, the female looks at you and goes, "All right, this is the end of the road for me. I gotta go back to General Hull and make sure that those two idiots with the Tarask don't actually kill half the city." Yeah, we got thrown on that job, unfortunately, as well. I wish it was with different people.
I wish you the best of luck.
As for you. And she does the sign off of the Ivanoran guard and walks away. As you guys look at this gate, it is a massive rusted gate. This gate has not been touched or tended to for the good part of about 100 years. You see some dead grass kind of lingering. You don't see any locks on the gate itself. You notice that as a slight breeze starts to blow, the gate door proper starts to move open, and you notice that, I'm not going to have you roll for this, just for the sake of storytelling, you notice that the lock is rusted off. There's no lock holding this door closed. There's no mechanism to even kind of hold it together. It's completely rusted out. As you notice that it's kind of pushing open, who wants to take the charge on entering in?
I will.
You'll take the charge. Okay, so Naria's going in first. Who wants to go next? You'll go next, and then Rinnill will hold up the rear.
Should he really be holding up the rear?
He's a man of the cloth. I can understand.
So, as you enter, your map was not wrong when you said it was a graveyard. As upon entry, you see on each side tombstone after tombstone after tombstone after tombstone. There are a good couple dozen tombstones here. This looks like this was the family graveyard. In the far right corner, you notice a giant tree growing out of what looks like a broken tombstone. It looks like there was some, maybe hundreds and hundreds of years ago, a tree started to sprout in the land when the eldest Fairnight had passed away. As you guys are looking around at this gravestone, I want everyone to go ahead and make an investigation check. So on your sheet, it's going to say investigation. You're going to add that number to your roll. I got a natural 1. I don't notice shit.
16.
16? What'd you get?
That's a 6.
7.
7. Okay. So, Naria, you're kind of in shock as to kind of the morbidness that you're already experiencing in this contract. Rinnill is almost about to shit his pants because he's realizing that I'm in a fucking graveyard.
I'm in an effing graveyard.
I'm in an effing graveyard, my dudes. But no, it's like, yes, also DMing and a player, yes, because of the fact that I'm gonna sidetrack, yes, I'm DMing and I'm being a player at the same time. You, however, you notice as you're going through the graveyards, or as you're looking, you notice On the left side, about like 30 feet into the graveyard, you notice it seems like a fresher tombstone. And this tombstone says Emery Fairnight on it. And there's no date on it. And as you notice, and as you're looking around, all of the other tombstones kind of have their names. And not really a date, but like the way that they went out. You know, the eldest one was a sacrifice to start a generation. There were Fairnights who pledged their allegiance to the Ivanoran Guard about 300 years ago for a great war with the South, and they died in battle, and these brothers were brought back home. You know, there was the intel. You know, you would think, well, wait, they're damn peers, shouldn't they? Isn't there special ways that they need to die? They were prisoners of war, and they, upon finding out that they were special, were tortured a special way and were subsequently murdered, but were honored with the highest valor for not giving away any information. They held the Crest's intel as importantly as they held their family name. And it said, died with honor to protect the North. But this gravestone for Emery Fairnight has nothing written on it. There's no explanation about it. As you look further, you notice that the ground, you know, all the other plots, you can see at some point in time the earth was disturbed. At this grave right here, the only earth that looks to be disturbed is the earth right underneath the tombstone. It doesn't look like anything's actually been buried in this spot. So, are you gonna? I'm assuming you're gonna explain that to the rest of the group.
So either someone robbed a grave, or he was never put down in.
Rinnill kneels down, and he kind of puts his hand on there, and he doesn't feel an indent. Given that he's worked with the clergy, and when he was with the clergy, he helped with burial services. He's actually very familiar. Especially being a drow, people assume, like, oh, let's let the guy that's known for darkness take care of the dead bodies, which was kind of an insult to him. And he kind of puts his hand down after you bring that up and says, "You're right, there's no hollowness to this ground."
Does that mean somebody prepared it beforehand?
It's hard to say. Either that, or he just threw this here as a decoy. Made people think he was dead when he actually wasn't. And he gets up and he kind of just looks around a little more. Aside from that little bit, it's a standard graveyard. It's very eerie. You've had your fair share of like going into sewers and stuff like that. You have a couple hairs standing on end on the back of your neck. It's pretty. It's a little spooky, if you will. So, as you guys continue, the graveyard kind of converges into a smaller, like, hallway, but it's like high bushes. And you notice that it gets to a point where you guys need to go single file one by one. Are we keeping the same order?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you all converge, you guys are kind of walking, and you see it's just tall hedge, tall hedge, tall hedge, tall hedge, tall hedge. Naria, I need you to roll another perception check.
And I add it to...
You add perception to it.
Which is +5.
Yeah.
7.
7! Okay. Alright. So as you're walking, you're kind of on guard looking up above, trying to see if there's any clearings in the hedges. You notice a little too late. Your foot sink down a little bit, and a chink. I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Is that on here?
So where it says above your skills, where it says saving throws,
Yeah.
you're gonna roll and add the dexterity
And
one. D20.
You roll
Yes.
And then you add what it says by
13.
dice.
13.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Total 13.
16.
13, 16, and he rolled 13. Nice. Okay, so cool. All right, so. Oh no!
Stall, we all die.
Oh no! I rolled double sixes on my d6 roll. You all succeeded, so you only take 6 points of fire damage, as hidden within the hedges were 2 stone golems that shoot fire out. You're able to dodge out of the way, but you still kind of take some damage.
Am I supposed to change it?
So
I just write it off to the side so that way
you got your total 52, so you can subtract 6, and where it says current hit points, just anywhere here you can write it there. There's no right or wrong way to do it.
Oh,
So 46.
Yeah.
nine.
I usually keep the max up there just so I don't
That way you
forget
remember
what
your
it
max
is.
hit points. Yeah.
If
yeah.
I get healed, I don't forget.
Yeah.
what it is.
Okay. So you guys kind of dodge out of the way. Oh, I did not see that one coming. Oh, is everyone all right?
Yeah, I think so.
What about you, Ashryn? You okay?
I'm okay.
All right. Okay. All right. Let's get back up. And you guys get back up and stay in single file line. As you guys keep walking, a few feet opens up, and it opens up enough to where you guys can go. We'll start walking all together. So it's like kind of like it probably would comfortably fit 4 people in a row. So you guys are able to kind of stand there. As you were looking around, you notice that as it opens up, you notice that there's a little designs in the hedges and little like designs that, and it's interesting. But you don't know what it is, which is why I'm gonna have you guys roll a perception check or an investigation check, actually. God damn it!
Ooh, I did not do good that time.
Oh boy.
16.
16. What'd you roll?
10.
10. I rolled. This was what, investigation?
Yep.
Oh, hey, I rolled a 14. Because I have a +7 because of my feet.
Hey, I died.
Hey, no. It's a collective. So you notice that, so you're trying to discern what's going on in the hedges. Rinnill is about to say something, but you've already made the connection. Each of the divots in the hedges are all a different set of trap. And as you walk forward, you notice that, and if you didn't pay attention, it would have had, something else would have happened. You notice thin wires towards the bottom of the ground. And if you were to walk through these wires, something bad would have really happened. So I'm assuming you let them know about the wires.
Of course.
Okay, so you let them know. The rest of the party, you guys kind of step very cautiously. You guys are able to get there without any issue. Thank God, because I'll tell you after this that trap would have been fucked. It would have been great. So, as you guys finish getting through all these hedges, it opens up even more into the grand courtyard. And the grand courtyard has bushes on one side. And kind of in the far distance, it looks like more land. To the left, you see a gate. And then, you have the bushes, and then you have some more space, and then you have a gate on both sides. And as you're walking up, you're kind of taking the lead, so you see it first. As you walk up, you notice 4 skeletons standing at the ready. The two on the far right and left are holding bows. The 2 in the middle are holding swords. And you hear like whatever can escape out of a skeleton's mouth, and you hear the creaking of bone as the two skeletons with a sword and shield start banging their sword and shield together. And they look at you, and they lock eyes with you. Roll initiative, ladies and gentlemen. We're fighting some skeletons. Okay, Rinnill.
So basically what you roll there is that, and then whatever initiative bonus you get.
4.
Oh my god! I rolled shitty too. Okay.
Oh man, why you guys do this to me?
I don't know. I'll do it in a moment. I gotta roll for the skeletons. Okay.
You just rolling twice.
Yeah.
One for each side.
Okay. All right. Man, everyone's rolling shit tonight. Alrighty.
I rolled good.
Well, I mean, just for this encounter. Okay. Is there an initiative bonus for these dudes? Nope, no initiative
They're
bonus.
skeletons.
That's true. Okay, so those will be for the sword guys. This will be for... Alrighty, 25 to 20.
19.
19. Okay, so Ashryn.
So I'm going first.
Okay, 15 to 10.
Nope.
10 to 5. I got it. I got a 5.
4.
4. Okay, so what's the skeleton's dexterity? Oh, we've got the same dexterity. God damn it. Okay.
Oops.
I'll let those skeletons go first. Just this for the sake of being fair, I'll let those skeletons go first. And then you got a 4? And then the archers got a 3. Wow, that is awesome. Okay. Let me get the board real quick.
Oh god.
Alrighty, my shittily drawn board. Okay, so the way that it is so go ahead and choose whichever button you want to be. Okay. It's going to be this button? Okay, so you're at the front, so you'll be about right here. And then which one do you want to be?
Doesn't matter.
I'll set you here, and then I'll set myself here. Okay. And then the way that it's set up are...
Just bushes?
These are the bushes that were explained earlier. And then this is like an indent where like the gates are. Okay, so you have these two. The X's are the sword and shield ones, and the circles, these are the archers. And each square is 5 feet, so you'll notice on your movement right here where it says 35 feet, you're able to move like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So like that's how you'll be able to do that. Okay, alrighty. So we got our board ready to go.
Can I like do this? Or
Yeah, so if you go sideways, you can go like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So it's just each square is 5 feet. Okay, so top of the round, Ashryn, it is your turn. What are you going to do?
I'm trying to gauge the range on some of these things.
Oh boy. They're like,
Why did I have to go first?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought I rolled shit, and then... Oh wait, hold on. I rolled a 5. I didn't do +2 on my for my initiative bonus. So I do get to go after you. Okay.
Still.
Alrighty.
Do I use level 1 spells already?
Use whatever. I'm gonna give the spoiler now. Use whatever you need to, because when we get to the break, I'm gonna allow a short rest at the break for what happens. So do what you need to do. I know that's a little like backseat gaming, but just for the sake of May, that way you know. Okay. Alrighty. I've got you on time limit right now.
Sorry.
No. I'm just saying, like, I got the time going right now.
Ranges for things.
It's okay. It's okay. Are you gonna move at all? You want to get your movement first, and then you can kind of gauge.
Well, that's part of why I was looking at ranges, because I didn't know how far I needed to be.
Oh, makes sense. Makes sense. Okay.
God damn it.
Alrighty. I think I already know what he's gonna do.
I guess I'll just cast Fairy Fire.
You're gonna cast Fairy Fire. Okay. Fairy Fire. What's the
The range?
Yeah, let me how do you spell fairy fire?
Faerie. And then fire.
Alright, I'm just bringing it up right now. That way I've got it on mine. Okay, so fairy fire. Okay, so it looks like... So it's up to 60 feet. So it's a 1-minute concentration spell. Mm-hmm. Each object in a 20-foot cube within range is outlined in blue, green, or violet. Any creature in the area where spell is east is also outlined. Any attack roll against an affected creature or objective or attacker can see it. Affected creature can't benefit from being invisible. So basically it's just lighting these guys up is what you're doing.
Basically it gives us advantage on attack rolls.
Cool.
As long as we can see it.
Okay, alrighty. And you're casting that because that's a 60-foot range? Mm-hmm. You definitely don't even have to move. So if I'm assuming you want to cast it right here to light all 4 of them up?
Yep.
Right here, because that'd be 5, 10, 15, 5, 10, and 5. Yeah. That's all within that range, so you're good to go. Are you going to use your movement at all?
No.
Alright, so you're staying right there. Okay, next up is Rinnill. So... Rinnill is going to, and I need to check the distance on. I just need to check. I just need to check. God, why do they use this word so many times in the fucking book? Oh, that's what it is. Light crossbow. I need to remember the range on the light crossbow.
I mean, you're also looking at clerics, so.
Very true. Yes. Light it up. Yeah, light it up. Light it the F up. Go to the equipment real quick because it's not showing where I need to go for this. This is fucking stupid.
What are you looking for?
The range on the bow.
Which one?
The light crossbow.
Light crossbow. It says ammunition range 80. 320.
80. Okay, alright, so it's 80 range. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 45, 50. Okay, so any one of those. Okay, so he's going to move 5, 10. Like, just kind of stay within this range right here. He is
gonna drop his dice bag.
Gonna drop a dice bag. He's going to fire at the front skeleton right there.
Front to the right.
Front right. Okay, so you said we have advantage on the attack rolls, right, from fairy fire? Oh, wow, that did not matter because those are both really good. Those both hit. That's not a natural 20, but that is a 20. And he gets to roll 1d8 damage for that. So this guy takes 4 points of damage. You watch as he grabs his crossbow and hits him right there. And he kind of like looks directly at Rinnill. That'll be the end of his turn. Next up are the skeletons. Yay. This skeleton, see, their range is... their range is 30 feet. Alright, so this skeleton, seeing, lurking at him, you can go 5, 10, 15, 20. And he is going to attempt to attack Rinnill. And he's going to use his short sword to try to attack.
Does Rinnill have
What?
Does Rinnill have a shield?
Rinnill... He's used his crossbow, so he doesn't have his shield. He's not using his shield at the moment. So there's no disadvantage on that. Which sucks, because that is a 19, and that barely hits, but it hits. Let's see, 1d6 plus 2. So Rinnill takes nice 3 points of damage. Rolled a natural 1. The other skeleton. So let me take that right now. So he took 3 points of damage. He's down to 29. Okay. So the other skeleton is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20. Looking at the armored one right here, and is going to attempt to attack you. Naria. So he's going to try to attack you with a short sword. Natural 20.
That hit.
That hits. I'll let you know how much damage you're going to take. Okay, so double the dice. I promise you I'm
dropping it on the
dropping all my dice. Alright, and 9 plus that. You take 11 points of damage. It's 11 points of slashing damage. But because he's in your line of sight now, if he tries to move again, you do get an attack of opportunity. That'll be it for the skeletons. Naria, it's your turn.
Okay. So then I guess since he's in front of me, I'll just attack him since I was planning on attacking him anyway.
So you're just going to attack him?
Yes.
Okay, now remember he does have... How long does Fairy Fire last for? It's concentration for a minute, right?
For a minute.
So you have advantage on the roll, so you're going to roll 2 d20s, and you're going to take the higher number. And when you do your d20s, you're going to roll... So are you going to hit him with the... Are you going to hit him with the...
I would assume just the sword,
You're
because
gonna hit
it's
him
right
with
in front of her.
Well, she's got a spear, and she's got the longbow and the...
Crossbow.
The crossbow. So you're going to use the spear?
Yeah.
Okay, so you grab your spear. Bonus action, grab your spear. And you're going to... Now, you can do 2 attacks, because you get 2 attacks as a paladin.
Does she have a shield?
Oh.
No, she doesn't have a shield.
Okay. I was gonna say she can just bash him with the shield if she wanted.
Sure.
But she doesn't have
Alright,
a shield.
so you can attack twice. So roll those 2 d20s for your first attack.
Take the higher one.
16.
16 plus 2, so that's 18. Or
2.
plus 3.
18 to attack.
No,
Right.
16 plus... Okay, so the plus 3 right here.
She's
So when you
rolling-
attack, you add this number right here.
Okay.
Well, she's rolling for advantage first, right?
Well, yeah, so she's got 16, and then the plus 3, that's 18. That definitely hits.
Wait, that's 3? That's 19, right? 'Cause
That is 19. I'm stupid.
Okay.
I can't math.
None
Okay.
of us can. That's why we have calculators.
Alright, so you're going to roll a d6, and that'll be the damage on
Which
the
is
first
just the regular looking dice.
Just the
The
square.
regular 6-sided dice.
3. Alright, so he takes 3 points of damage. So you
Piercing it.
whack, or you go stab first time. You get him. He goes, and you pull back and roll for your second attack. No. Roll your d20s for your second attack. Sorry. And roll both of them at advantage. Oh, see, that's 6. So
6
plus 3, that's
plus-
9. That misses. So you go around and you try to hit him a second time, and and it misses. He pushes you away. Next in line are the 2 archers. So the 2 archers are going to hold their ground. This one's going to try to fire at Rinnill, and this one's going to try to fire at Naria. So the one against Rinnill, actually this one, because it looks like his friend is right in line, it's going to be a disadvantage.
Oh my gosh.
Greg, why are you doing a math game? Shush wrote it. 4? It completely shanks the arrow, and you watch as Rinnill, after getting hit by the first skeleton, hits like one of the hedges from behind and snaps. The other one is going to try to attack you. Looking at the line of sight. Okay, if it fires there.
And his friend is just out of the way, it looks like.
Yeah, so I'm just going to roll that as a straight roll for the second. Oh, when I'm not throwing my fucking dice. God damn.
Do you need an actual dice tray?
No, I'm good. Okay, and that's plus 4. So 14, does that hit?
Sure, easy.
17?
Okay, so it doesn't hit. So you watch as, you finish your stab, and as you turn around, you notice an arrow coming towards you, and you move just in time for it to also hit on that hedge. You do not take any damage. You're good. Back to the top of the round. Ashryn, what are you doing?
It's gonna be a weird angle.
Remember, you can also move.
I know, but I also can't cast any other spells because that breaks my concentration.
Right.
Okay, so I'm just gonna move to the side
Move to the side. Okay.
of that skeleton.
Oh, you're gonna flank him.
I use
Okay.
my quarterstaff and
Use your quarterstaff. Okay, because you're flanking him. I know this is generally. I mean, we're calling the homebrewers for whatever. I know this is usually just a rogue thing, but go ahead and roll with advantage, since you're flanking the skeleton, because that skeleton is more focused on Naria right now.
Whew. Not good. Oh shit, what do I add to this?
It's your strength.
It's not gonna hit.
What is it?
It's 5.
5.
Not gonna hit.
You go to hit it with your quarterstaff, and whew,
Fuck everything, basically.
Completely misses.
Fuck everything, basically.
You still got a bonus action. You already used some of the movement. If you want to move back, you can.
No, fuck it, I'll just stay there.
You'll just stay there? Okay. You don't have a bonus action you want to use?
Can't really think of anything that would break my concentration, so...
Okay.
Preferably not.
Alrighty. So, next in the order is Rinnill. Rinnill taking the hit from the skeleton. He's doing okay. He's taking a couple hits, but he's doing okay. So he's going to use his action to cast Healing Word to heal him up a little bit. He's going to bonus action Healing Word. And that is 1d4 plus spellcasting ability modifier. So he heals. God damn it! Roll a 1 on my d4. Spellcasting modifier bonus. That's Wisdom. So that's 5. He heals for 5. Kind of patches himself up just a tad bit. Where did I send that pencil? Right there. So for 5 points of damage, he's back up to 34. And he is going to use his action to bring up Sacred Flame for me. So that way I know how to know to roll it the right way. Because I know you very much know about Sacred Flame. So he's going to be action Sacred Flame. He's going to... Or wait, no, he can't do that because Sacred Flame's a cantrip. He's got to cast something at the same... But he does have an action.
I mean, it is an action.
It is an action. Okay, so he's just going to... He's going to use his action to...
You could do Sacred Flame as an action.
I could do Sacred Flame as an action? Okay.
It's an action.
Alrighty, so he's going to use Sacred Flame.
It's 1d8 radiant damage.
1d8 radiant damage, and it's what a...
Target must succeed on a Dex saving throw or take
throw.
1d8 radiant damage.
Okay, so he's going to take... Alright, so you said Dexterity?
Dex saving throw, yes.
Dex saving throw. He saves. He rolled a 16 and DC was 15.
Who knew skeletons would be this hard?
I know, right? So
why did you pick skellies?
there's a thing that will happen. So something that happens when he goes to cast Sacred Flame is the skeleton dodges it. But when the skeleton goes to dodge it, you notice that he's starting to slow in his movements a little bit. And it is the skeleton's turn. He's slow after the dodge to get back up. So he's going to try to attack Rinnill, but it's going to be at disadvantage. Oh, so this is going to be interesting. It goes and it shanks the throw of his sword. That slow movement you saw was a joint in his hand coming loose. As he goes to swing, the joint pops off, and as it pops off, spins into this skeleton, and he takes 6 points of piercing damage as the skeleton's hand broke off as he tried to move. This is from the natural one, and hit his ally. The other skeleton is confused by what has happened and doesn't take any action at that time. We are now to Naria. What are you going to do? I'm going to say this. Any attack on this skeleton is going to be at advantage.
So I was just going to move to the skeleton that's next to
Rinnill.
Okay.
Right here.
Okay.
Ooh, she's sandwiched in.
Okay, and you're going to attack that skeleton?
Yes.
Alrighty, so go ahead and... Here, give me one quick moment. I realize I'm not keeping track of HP.
Oops.
So...
I gotta stand for a little.
Is at... So technically that is 9. Okay, so go ahead and roll your attack.
Roll both of them. Take the higher one.
20.
Ooh.
Oh, is that a
Nat
natural?
20.
Natural 20. All right. So you're going to, what is it, and you're attacking with your spear again?
Yes.
Take 2 of the
D6.
D6s and you're going to roll those, add those together, and that'll be your damage.
5.
5 points of damage. All right, this skeleton's looking a little bit rough. The other skeleton that just got hit, that right behind you, is also looking about as rough. You have a second attack. So are you going to attack that one again, or are you going to attack the other one?
I'll attack this one again.
Okay, all right, go ahead and roll your d20s again. Take the higher one.
12.
12.
12 plus.
12 plus.
Strength, right?
Yeah.
There's a little bubble by your strength. Plus
3. 15.
15. 15 hits. All right, go ahead and roll another d6.
1.
Just 1 d6.
1.
Oh, okay. You hit him. You don't get the greatest hit on him, but you do get a decent hit. It is now the other skeleton's turn. Those skeletons are going to see what's going on, and they're both going to try to make attacks on Naria, because you're doing some damage. We'll let you know if you take any damage or not. So when I list off a number to hit, this AC number, if it's below this number, they miss. So when I ask, does this hit, that's what it's comparing to.
If it matches that number or it's higher, though, it does hit.
I'm so sorry, natural 20.
So yeah, 17. So.
Alright, so I'll let you know how much damage you take.
You're gonna need a healing word after this.
Don't worry about it. Oh, I rolled really low. Okay, so that's 3 plus 2. That you take 5 points of piercing damage. And then the other one's going to try to fire at you. Let's see. 18. Does that hit? 18 hits. Okay. You take 6 more points of piercing damage. How much are you at?
24.
You're at 24. Shit.
Yeah, because she's taking the brunt of the blow.
That is true.
The fuck, man?
Okay, alrighty. So.
Remember how
That's-
I jokingly said we could die in the fridge? And you laughed at me and went, yeah, sure.
No, it's okay. Okay, so end of that round, top of the order. Ashryn, what are you doing?
Just gonna do the same thing, take my quarterstaff and try to smack.
Try to smack that one? Alrighty, what do we got?
Do I have advantage still?
It's already been past a minute. So you don't have advantage, just a straight roll.
6.
I'm sorry.
Grog is in jail.
You go to make the hit, the swing. You overcompensate the other side, and you hit it on the other side. The other skeleton kind of looks at you now.
I'm fucking trying, I promise.
I know. It happens. It happens.
Grog is in jail. I don't want to see
Sitting
him
good
for
roll
a while.
energies, bad skellies. Skeletons can see. Yeah, just they can see.
At least
They
hear.
can sense. They can sense. Okay. So,
Besides, eyes are just jelly. They're not bones.
yeah, very true. Next up is going to be Rinnill. He notices that you're having a pretty bad time over there. He is going to cast Shield of Faith on you. Shield of Faith is going to help you out a lot. So Shield of Faith.
That's a +2 to your AC for like 10 minutes.
Yes,
I'm gonna double check
if I
that
remember
works.
correctly, it's
And I've used this a bunch. I'm just double checking that works.
right.
Concentration up to 10 minutes
Mm-hmm.
gives a bonus 2 AC.
Bonus to AC. So you get a +2 on your AC. So that means your AC now is 19.
So for 10 minutes, it's 19.
It's at 19. And he is... that's about it. He's going to bonus action put his crossbow away, and he's going to ready his mace and shield that are hanging on his back. So mace and shield ready to go, so now he has his shield ready. Alright, so next are the skeletons. So the skeleton over here is very angry at you, and it's going to turn its attention and try to attack you. And this is for... that'll be... Oh, I don't think that hits. 18?
I got 19.
You got 19 right now? Okay. So the skeleton goes to hit, and it grazes like part of the chainmail and completely misses. That skeleton, the other skeleton is going to make an attack at you, Ashryn. Let's see. Straight roll. 19?
Yeah. AC is 13, so yes.
Okay, you take 4 points of piercing damage. That's a lot of damage. Okay, next in the order is Naria.
As far as I'm concerned.
Naria, what are we doing?
I'm just gonna attack it again. With my
Keep
sword.
doing these attacks?
Yep.
Alrighty, go ahead and roll. It's just going to be a straight roll this time. So just roll 1d20.
Or 1d20, yeah. D8, what the fuck.
18?
Plus
21?
21 absolutely hits. Go ahead and roll your damage. Roll one
D6.
of the d6s.
3?
Oh, awesome.
Finally one?
You go, and you're just sick of it. You go to hit this skeleton. As your spear pierces in, you feel the entire skeleton collapse into the spear and fall down. One skeleton has been killed. You still have one more action. So you can attack the one behind you if you want to.
I'll turn around and attack that one.
Alrighty, so you're going to...
1d20.
Yeah, roll...
Why do I keep calling it D8?
That's all good.
Ooh.
Reroll it. It fell out of the... 10 plus
3.
13.
just hits. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Yeah. 6.
6.
It's incredible. You watch as in a bout of frustration, Naria strikes down the first skeleton with her spear and then spins the spear around and behind her stabs the other skeleton. Both skeletons
I
collapse.
pull a Dimitri. In Fire Emblem.
At this point, these two archers, seeing that thing happen, those two archers are realizing that could happen to us now, because the skeleton archers are a little more squishy than the shield ones. It's all good. So they're going to start retreating into here. So this one goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. This one
Just poofs.
Is
is
off the
out.
board.
That one's out of play. This one is right here.
So we might as well just leave them then, right? Let
I
them
would
go?
say I was going to ask, does anyone want to cast any actions at all?
Well, I can't cast anything. I'm done.
Well, you have spells as well as a paladin.
I don't know what they do.
Let's see what you got. So you have Searing Smite.
Nah, I'm just gonna. If it's gonna run away, then I'm
You're
just
just
gonna
gonna
let
let
it
it
run
run
away because it's no. I feel.
Rinnill sits there and he watches as the other skeletons start to run off in an incredible display by Naria. You proved why you are
The best in the land.
the best in the...
And why everybody hires me.
What?
And why everybody hires me.
And why
to do their
people
shit.
hire you.
Do their dirty work.
So we are out of combat for right now. We're almost to the break. Don't worry. We're almost to break time.
My back is dying.
I'm so sorry. So, as you watch as the skeletons run away, you're catching your breath. Rinnill notices that you're not looking too good. Can you bring up Prayer of Healing for me?
Prayer of healing?
Prayer of Healing, yeah. Or no. Mass Healing Word. We'll do Mass Healing Word. He notices how hurt you are and how much that took out of everybody. And he's going to cast Mass Healing Word and
It's 1d4 plus your spellcasting ability modifier.
So that's the Wisdom modifier. So everyone gets 7 points of healing. So go ahead and add 7 points of healing. Rinneal's just like...
So, you said 7?
7 points, yes. Okay, so 7 points. Rinneal's fully healed.
3 points away.
3 points away, and I know it's going to be okay for me.
Where are we at right now? Where are we at?
31.
Rinneal looks...
I also have healing word if we need it.
Okay. Rinneal looks, and he's like, Is everyone okay?
I think so.
Okay.
That was rough.
That was an incredible move you got there. That was... You went like 1-2. How'd you do that?
You know, sometimes when you're just really angry and frustrated, you just...
Right.
It just happens.
It happens.
You did pretty good yourself.
Oh, thank you. I tried to keep everyone up as much as possible. Looks at Ashryn and looks around and sees you guys are kind of taking notice of the area proper, and as you're kind of observing that it's just a massive courtyard, and definitely looks like there could be something up. I want everyone to roll a perception check for me.
I rolled a 20.
D20, yes. Ooh, 21.
You and I match.
Perception.
Perception. Oh, that's way more.
Right?
Perception for me, that's like a million.
I have
Go ahead.
10 total.
10 total. I rolled a 26.
21.
21, 26. Okay. You're hurting a little bit, right?
She is, yeah.
And
I can still do healing word if we need to.
well, don't worry about that for now. Trust me, don't worry about that. So as you guys are looking around a little bit, Rinnill starts making his way over to the staircase that's leading up to the castle proper. Rinnill starts going up. He's like, and he notices that there's some sort of pattern. He goes, "Give me a moment." He goes all the way up to the top of the stairs, and he goes, I think I might have found something. Do you guys, if you guys want to come on up here, so I'll go ahead and, so he's off the map. So the stairs start right here, but he's like up off the map. So you're kind of right here. I say you guys are kind of just.
Well, that's me, by the way.
Oh, that was you? Okay, sorry about that. So you're right here. I would assume you're searching right here. You notice as you're looking around here, and you call Naria over to you, that little entrance area right here goes into a gate in a wider area. As you look into that wider area, you see something you do not want to see. You see
a prostitute.
You see the dirtiest prostitute over here. You see
my biological father.
5, 10, 15, 30, 45 skeletons rising from this area. They're all looking around.
Alright, I'm gonna head out.
Alright, I'm gonna head out. You notice that these are being called by the two archers that ran. I mean, you let them run.
Sure.
They're calling a bunch of people. A bunch of used to be people, I should say. So you notice that as Rinnill is saying, "Hey, I found something." When Rinnill says, "Hey, I found something," all the skeletons turn to your direction. Skeletons are now starting to make their way towards the gate. What are you guys doing?
I'm running to where Rinnill.
You're running. Okay.
You say you found something?
You guys have 2 rounds to try to get up to the stairs, and I'm going to roll a couple checks. So, first round, you have 35 movement, right?
Yes.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So you guys easily, you have 30? 5, 10, 15, 20.
I have 40.
You have 40, okay. So you guys easily make it to the stairs. As you guys make it to the stairs, skeletons are already pouring out of the area. You guys realize that you're not going to have enough time. Whatever Rinnill is planning right now, you get this feeling you got to fucking book it up to the stairs right now. So you guys are going up the stairs, and they're a long set of stairs, and you see skeletons are starting to make their way towards the stairs. And Rinill's like, "Come on, guys, you better hurry." And he's holding at the top. There's a lever kind of hidden in the back, and he's holding this lever. He's like, "You guys better hurry. Come on." As he says that, the first skeleton starts making his way up the stairs. Then 2 more skeletons. You guys are about 10 feet away from getting there. Rinill's like, "Come on, we gotta go." The skeletons are picking up speed. I need both of you to make acrobatics checks as you guys are going to be, or athletics checks as you guys are booking it as fast as you can to get all the way up to the top before whatever Rinill's going to do.
So just roll a d20.
So there's a thing right here that says athletics.
Oh, it says
Athletics.
Oh.
You're proficient in it too. Roll a d20.
8.
Oh, okay.
Plus 6?
No, she rolled a 2
2.
plus 6.
That's
So you got an 8.
Yep.
16.
16. Okay. You are booking it as much as you can. You make it all the way up to the top. You, on the other hand, you get caught on one of the stairs. And as you get caught on one of the stairs, one of the skeletons tries to come at you. But that skeleton doesn't do jack shit. He completely misses. He's trying to grapple you, and you have like high strength, so it would not have mattered. He tries to grab you and completely misses. You start running. Rinill's like, come on, you gotta hurry up. Make one more athletics check for me, please.
13.
You run, and you're going, and you're going. You're running as fast as you can. And as soon as you get to the top, you kind of do a kind of a jump out of instinct as he pulls the lever. What happens when he pulls the lever?
And I get squashed.
You fall flat on your face, but you make it to the top. What you don't see, but you see, is when Rinnill pulls the lever, the stairs turn
into a slide.
Yeah, they start as a slide, and as it starts to, as the skeletons start to slide down, the bottom area of the stairs turns again, and there's spikes now, creating a pseudo spike pit for the skeletons. The skeletons going up the stairs fall all the way down onto the spikes. The other skeletons that are running, you see them running up, they're like, we're not going anymore. Skeletons are like, not today. Rinnill is sitting there, you fell flat on your face. You're just like, yeah, basically. You guys look, nearly evading an army of skeletons heading in your direction after they see that you've pulled the trap in order to cause anyone climbing these stairs to fall down. These skeletons have immediately started to retreat. The skeletons that were on the stairs fell, and now you see a mixture of spike and bone culminating down on the bottom area where the steps used to be. Rinnill pulls the lever back, and as it spins around, and you hear the clattering of bones. You see the steps turn back, and he waits to pull it until the skeletons are fully retreated. Pulls it, stairs turn back there. You guys are now standing at the front entrance of the castle. Realizing you need to catch your breath, you guys take a few minutes to brace yourselves for what is about to be found inside the mansion. And that is where we're going to take our break. So, we will be back in about 10-15 minutes. Restroom time, get more drinks. My mouth is dry. So, we will catch you guys in a few minutes. Welcome back, everybody. Last we left off, our intrepid adventurers met up at a tavern called the Sleeping Pike, where they were given a contract by General Hall to eradicate the last of the Fairnight family, a family of vampires and vampires that in recent time have been a nuisance to the city, or so it seems. They entered the entrance. That's pretty great. They entered into the castle grounds, not into the castle itself. They arrived at the castle grounds. Thank you very much. You're better at words than I am. They arrived at the castle grounds and were met with fireballs and a few skeletons that they needed to ward off in order to get their way up to the top, where they were chased by an army of skeletons, but made it up there unscathed. They took a few minutes to themselves, kind of gather themselves, take a breather, kind of wrap some things up, try to put some healing on everybody. I'm going to constitute that as a short rest, so your HP is back up to your full HP, and any spells expelled, I'm going to say you get your spell slots back.
Shield of Faith has also gone away.
So I'm back down to 17.
Back down to 17.
I figured.
We're back down to 17. Okay. Let me erase the spells that I expended. I expended a 3rd level. Nice. Cool. Okay.
When you color in a bubble, what does that mean?
Those just means that those are your prepared spells. Which
No. Honor skills.
Well,
those are proficient.
Skills, those
just
are
in
proficient.
anything, though.
Those are prepared spells. And then for the front, that just means things you're proficient in.
So when I use it, I erase that bubble?
You can put a check mark next to it to show that you used it.
Yeah.
Or an X or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so you know which one you use. Because regardless, I mean, you still know those spells. It's just you didn't use all of them.
But the bubbles don't really mean anything?
They just mean you have those ready for the day.
Oh, but you have to bubble it in?
Some people do. It's probably just the way
I just bubbled it in just for the sake of... I only gave you, 4 of the, long list of spells. Usually people list out all the spells and they bubble in the ones that are prepared.
Prepared meaning...
Because each
those
day...
are the ones you can use that day.
Each day you have to prepare a certain amount of spells. So I just pre-prepared your spells for what was going to happen.
Okay, anyway.
Yeah, so you're good to go. Okay,
and you can change them out each day.
So, we don't need this right now. I should have erased this during the break and drawn the other thing. But anyway. Don't worry about it. So, as you guys sit there and you take a moment, I need my change of music for this one. As you guys get on in, you turn around and you look at the giant door. And this giant door is immaculate. It is old rustic wood with platinum edges around it. The platinum is also found around the windows towards the top of the door, and you have the door handles also encrusted in this fine platinum. Even though this place has been abandoned for a long time, it still looks like it is in pristine condition. As you guys open the door and you start to enter, it's almost chilling when you walk into this area. It's dark, but because it's completely dark, but because of the dark vision that the elves have, you're able to see within 60 feet. So as you initially walk in, you see a giant entrance, and I mean it's not a castle for no reason. You have doors after doors after door on this lower level, all of which lead to this grand staircase that starts open like this and it opens out to the side, opening up to a balcony area where you see a massive door on the top, and you see hallways up above where you assume there are more doors to more places. As you guys are looking around in the main chamber, Go ahead and roll an investigation check for me.
With the 20, right?
Yes, the D20.
I ain't seeing shit.
13.
13? I rolled fucking Garbo. Oh wait, +7, 12. Okay.
Fuck you.
What'd you get?
5.
I rolled like shit. Fuck you.
That sucks. It happens. I'm sorry.
That sucks. That happens. I'm sorry.
I mean, it doesn't mean it doesn't.
That's a string of words.
Doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
It sucks. I'm sorry. Get wrecked.
It's all good. It wasn't a high DC anyway, so
Ashryn falls into a pit.
Ashryn falls into a pit and dies. So
Game over.
you can leave the table. No, I'm kidding.
Okay, cool.
So you're kind of you're in awe, and your mind kind of starts to wander a little bit.
There's too many doors.
Well, there's something different. I need you. Roll me a general wisdom check.
Am I gonna add anything to that?
Your wisdom modifier.
14.
You're distracted because you don't know why.
Because there's so many fucking doors.
No. Let me finish. You don't know why, but this room seems very familiar to you. You're scouring what you have in your head, and as you're in here, you notice, and it's something that you realize after you came to with the nobleman, is there was a little choker that had a little diamond on it, and you hear the neighbors be assholes and stomp around. Ceiling caves in. Ashryn dies. You feel this warmness, and you put your hand on the necklace, and it's warm. And you're very confused because you're scouring your brain and you don't know why you're feeling. You're feeling like a nostalgia that you shouldn't have because you've never been here before. You know, you have no memory of ever even being in this town before. But there's this warmness and this nostalgia and the choker around your neck, which for the life of you guys went to every arcanist and tried to figure out what was going on. This thing could not be removed. And no matter how hard you tried. But you feel this warmness that you never felt before on that choker. And you feel this nostalgia. And you're confused, and it's why you're not perceptive to what's going on. What you notice first, and Rinnill kind of picks up on it immediately, is leading up to, like, there's a giant door that the stairs lead on up to. And you make your way up there, and when you look, there's a keyhole, but no handle. So you guys need to find a key if you're going to try to open this door. Rinnill gets this idea. He goes around to each door, tries to see if any of them open or not. And he starts down below. And he's trying these doors, trying another door. It's locked. It's locked. It's locked. He gets to almost all the way back to the entrance of the castle. And he gets a door that opens. He almost falls on his face with how quickly the door opens. And he's like, guys, you should probably come in here. You guys follow?
Yep.
Alrighty.
Check it out, see what's...
Check it out and see what's going on. As you enter, it's a relatively smaller room, but it's almost like... It seems like it's supposed to be a storage closet, but it's big enough to be like a small bedroom. And it looks like there's a lot of stuff that can be found here. Go ahead and roll another investigation check, everybody.
I'm just gonna put that away.
12.
12?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you get?
12.
12? It's okay. I got 9.
Keyleth, why?
Or 10, excuse me.
What? What happened?
Keyleth, why?
Oh, using the critical... I was like, why are you calling these dice the name of the critical roll character.
Because it's her dice.
I was like, did you name it
Yeah,
that?
no,
it's her
that's
die.
her actual. That's the character dice.
Oh, okay. They made
Yeah.
them for each of the characters?
Yeah.
Yes.
Which I rolled her because she's a druid character, and I'm just like,
Oh, so
Yeah.
that's why Grog, you put him away.
Yep, he was not doing good for me.
She literally put her to Grog dice one.
Okay.
I put him in jail.
Okay,
Oh.
so you said.
Go to fucking jail, Grog.
As you're looking, you guys kind of pick up on it at the same time. As you're looking around, you notice, because there's like short swords, etc. You come across a special set of arrows, and these arrows are very different. You would probably know it, or both of you roll history checks. History, yes.
Natural 20.
That's funny.
Fuck.
8.
You're looking, you see these arrows, and you're like, these look like regular arrows.
Those are
You know what kind of silver this is. These are, best way to put it, this is like anti-lichen arrows.
No, for werewolves.
Yes.
Not for vampires.
Not for vampires. For
Your
werewolves.
sister is a werewolf. Silver bullets
I
kill
did my
vampires.
research, and silver does not affect vampires. So you look at it, and you notice the tip, and you're kind of gleaning from it. You notice the tip. You kind of touch it a little bit.
No, I don't. I walk out of the room.
You feel it go down a little
No.
bit? No, I'm kidding. So,
Stop.
yeah, well, because usually it's like there's the barbed tip. This is not sounding great at all. And it's usually wood.
It's a silver arrow, basically.
It's the whole arrow is silver.
Okay, cool. That's
Okay.
it.
So
No more innuendo.
you look at these arrows, and when you realize, you explain this to her. I guess it makes sense.
But why would a vampire have silver arrows?
Defense, probably.
For what?
Werewolves? This whole thing's new to me as well.
But I didn't see any werewolves around here.
I haven't either. I
Oh.
really haven't. Shit!
Roll an irony check.
Yeah, roll an irony check. I love that.
18.
18. There's a lot of irony going on right now. I love it. Okay, so Rinnill is like kind of parsing his memory. He's like, I don't know. You should probably take the arrows then. I mean, you've got the bow and arrow. So you take the
I'll
arrows.
take all the arrows.
All right, it is. Go ahead and just write down in your inventory 20 silver arrows.
Your equipment area.
Oh, okay.
How many?
20.
20 silver arrows.
20 silver arrows.
They're probably gonna come in handy later.
They might. Who knows? Maybe they're just sick arrows. Maybe they do more. They do the same damage.
These are there for decoration.
They're there for decoration.
It's actually part of the family crest.
Yeah, it's part of the family crest. Go ahead and roll another wisdom check for me.
Okay. 21.
Yay.
Vex is nice to me. Keyleth is not.
You looked at the silver arrows, and as you're kind of giving them over, you kind of pause for a moment, and the touch of the silver arrow is kind of reminding you, the remnants of a conversation that you don't remember ever having start ringing in your head. It's for safety. We can't be too safe. You never know what's out there. You don't know where this is coming from, but it's ringing in your head. As you guys exit that first door, just for the sake of brevity, I'm not going to have you guys roll to find each of the doors because that would take fucking forever. You guys are still on the bottom floor. Rinnill and Naria are going boom, and then the next one, and the next one. You're checking the left. Naria, you get close to the staircase on the right side, and You almost fall on your face this time.
Of course.
Again.
You
And
with fall.
as you enter into this room, it is adorned with a plethora of portraits.
I thought you were going to say porn for a second.
It's a lot of porn. There's a lot of jerk-off material in this room.
There's some tissues on the floor.
There's some... No.
For blowing your nose.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You nasties.
You nasty.
Yeah, your long nose.
We call it Pinocchio.
May,
Long one nose.
May gets a D8 of inspiration for that one. So when we get to a thing that you gotta roll for, you can roll a diamond and add that to your roll.
Should we just, like, put a D8 in her inspiration?
Yeah, just put a D8 in her inspiration.
Wait, so what am I doing?
So
No, it's just...
Oh.
Not right
Okay,
now.
you're having to write it down.
Just have her write out 1d8. So on any roll coming up, you can roll.
So on
a
here,
D8
just
to
put
add your
1d8.
roll. I'll explain inspiration as we get to that.
Okay.
So
It comes in handy sometimes.
as you roll through, you're noticing that it's a giant gala room, and there's paintings. Some of them generations old, like hundreds of years old. Some of them newer. And you guys are kind of like enthralled by what's going on in here. Go ahead and roll an investigation check again.
17.
Okay, that's
I
not
shouldn't
bad.
have picked that dice.
16. Okay. What'd you get?
6.
Okay.
I ain't seen shit. We ain't found shit.
We ain't found shit. So, Naria, your initial instinct as you're looking at the portraits is, oh fuck, there's a lot of hot in this room. But you're able to kind of
Alucard Tepe.
I'll just take this one.
but you fight the urge to let that override. You fight the urge to let that override investigating the room.
She magically found a bag of holding in the room.
Yeah.
She stuffs the portrait in
Yeah,
it.
magically it takes
Thirst will
it.
come later.
Yeah. Hey, you're a woman who knows what she wants.
Yep.
Is there water skin in your pack? Or are you just happy to see him?
Holy shit. Okay. So, you're looking and you're noticing a pattern in the way these men look.
Of course.
Yeah. The facial features, it's almost like you're seeing a similar looking individual going through the ages. You know? And you glean from this that it's portraits of the head of the Fairnight family dating back from 800 years ago to present. You get to the last painting, and it is of a very handsome, pale-skinned elven man. Red hair.
Oh, took away my joke.
No, not Alucard. Shut up.
I was gonna say Amric.
Yeah, Sir Emmerich. It's totally Sir Emmerich. If he was a damn peer.
Could be for Halloween.
Who knows? His hair's pulled back into a nice ponytail. You see the very light streaks of silver in his hair. Light chin goatee. General, like, proper look for a portrait.
Stands regal, basically.
He
regal,
stands very regal. And it says Emery.
Sam.
Yeah, just shut up. You're at disadvantage now. I'm kidding. I'm not putting you at disadvantage.
That's fine.
You see underneath, etched into the very bottom, E.F.
G.
E-F-U.
E.F.U. Yeah.
Sorry.
Gee.
God damn it. Okay. I lost my place. Holy shit.
So,
This is this.
F.
Yeah. This is the portrait of Emery Fairnight. You roll another wisdom check for me.
Whew, nope. Nope.
What'd you roll?
6. Nope. This will fuck up the story later.
The sense of nostalgia still holds in your heart. But in a sense, it almost pains you that it pains you because you're not remembering. You feel like you need to be remembering this room. You need to be remembering this person, but you're not. And there's a genuine kind of pain in your heart because you're feeling this nostalgia and you're remembering certain things in certain rooms, and you get here and there's a block. With your investigation check as well, Naria, about 2 pictures away from the Emery, there's a break in the male Dampiers, and there is an elven female standing there very regal with one of the Dampier males. You recognize this person almost immediately because you recognize her as the description of the cautionary tale of Alencia Zinrel. Alencia was an elf a generation before yours in the same village that, just like you, had the same wanderlust. And she went journeying and ran into this Dampier. And it's conflicting with what you remember, because you remember this Dampier in the stories of why, the cautionary tale of wanderlust getting the best of you is in the stories. This vampire was mean, he was vicious, he pulled her away from her tribe and kept her holed up. But you look at this painting, and he's got his arms lovingly around her shoulders. And you see, even though they're standing so regal, there's a slight smile on her face. And the story was that she was seduced by this evil vampire and she was ripped away. But the picture is evoking a different emotion out of you. And as you're thinking about that, you think about before you left your village. We were about to leave Yarnan, and your father, very angry, of, you're going to become an example just like her. To which your initial attitude was, I'll do whatever the fuck I want. And because he was scared that the same thing would happen to you that happened to Alencia. And you see that, and just there's a lot of emotion kind of rolling through. And it's kind of saddening because since you left your village, you haven't really had any contact. And it's a weird kind of connection that you have now. The legend was a true story. The picture's right here, but there's obviously some falsehoods in that story. And it's causing your mind to race a little bit. Rinnill is looking around, and he notices in the corner there's a bunch of fallen scraps from painting and whatnot, and against the corner is a silver mace. And he looks at this silver mace and he's like, guys, what's with all the silver stuff here? It's the next silver thing, the last silver thing I've seen.
doesn't make any sense.
He takes his mace and he sets it down, and he takes the silver mace and puts it here. He's like, I guess he can't be too cautious. But then he realizes he probably needs both maces at some point, so he grabs his other mace and puts it on the other side of the belt just to make sure.
Wow, man.
He's a squishy cleric. He's got to make sure.
Wow, man of the cloth stealing from a castle.
It's protection.
Mm-hmm. Double trouble over here.
You guys make your way up to the top floor. And think of it like, you know, the police station in Resident Evil 2, where you go up the stairs and there's like on each side a series of doors. It's kind of like that.
Sure.
What? You fucking watched me play it.
Bits and pieces.
Basically, like, it's like the stairs, like, in, like, Beauty and the Beast, kind of like that.
Yeah.
It's like
Okay,
double stairs.
I got that one.
Yeah. Wow, you get the Beauty and the Beast reference, but not
That
the
was my
Resident
favorite
Evil 2
movie when
one.
I was little.
Okay.
Fuck off, man.
So. Sorry, I'm just looking. Cool. I didn't reveal too much. So, as you go up to the third floor, the top floor, the first door on the left, yes. I have to do that.
Your
The
left,
first-
our right.
The first door on the left opens immediately. And it opens into a bedroom chamber. And at the top of, like, not like, it's not just a bedroom. It's a full, like, bedroom and everything. It's not just a bed. And it says, as you enter, like, on the top of the like, on the headrest, it says, Emery why am I blanking on it? Fairnight. Yeah, I don't know why I blinked on that.
I've been fighting there to say Fairchild each time.
A Fairchild, yeah. So they,
Fairnight.
you get a feeling that there might be something here. Roll your next investigation checks. Natural 20. Okay.
What?
Oh.
9.
Oh no.
I ain't found shit.
Alrighty. You ain't found shit.
7.
9.
A natural 20.
Ashryn just excuses herself.
No. You gotta roll your wisdom one in a moment.
Can I just do
So,
that
what?
now? Do I just do that now?
I'll get to it in a moment. You guys are looking around, and Rinnill keys in, no pun intended, to the dresser, and he's like pulling, not fully pulling it apart, but like going through each drawer.
What are you doing?
He's pulling it apart, like pulling through
Well,
each.
my character's asking.
She's asking
What,
him. Oh,
I'm
you're asking-
asking the character. What are you doing?
Just trust me on this one. And he stops at one point, and he notices a little latch. And in that little latch, he props that open, and the key is underneath right there. And he sets it down and pushes it in.
How do you know this?
I'm gonna roll perception on him. I ain't found shit.
I want to try.
11.
I
You
want to
want
try.
to go ahead.
I rolled 11.
Perception.
You've got +5.
12.
12.
One higher than
12.
me.
You get a sense that there shouldn't be any reason why he should know where the key is.
Yeah.
But you write that off to be...
Maybe he's done it before.
You write that off to be maybe because of his connection to his god. Maybe his god has been leading him to that point.
I don't have a god, so I don't understand that connection. I don't trust you.
Would it be the first time? Would it be the last time? Well, we got the key. As you guys are leaving, you kind of stop for a moment. Roll your wisdom check.
Thank you, Jesus. 15.
You're halted for a moment. A scent comes to you. It's a calming scent. It's a familiar scent. It's almost like the very faint smell of like a And for a moment, your heart feels at ease. For a brief moment. And you feel as if you turn around and you're going to see someone behind you, but there's nobody there. You look around, and there's no signs anyone is there. But you feel like you're walking into a memory. But you have no memory. You've never been to this place. After a moment, you guys walk over and you get to the door.
The final door?
The door, TM.
The door, TM. You get back to the door that had the lock in
Okay,
it.
because you said the door. I was like, there's been tons of doors.
It's the door,
Oh, the
not
door.
a
Trademark.
door. The door.
Okay.
The door, TM, copyright.
Right.
Yeah.
Bold-faced, underlined.
Yeah.
Italics. Sign.
As you guys
Faces.
open the door, so you...
With the key?
Yeah, so...
Okay.
Rinnill puts the key into the door, and he twists it, and the door pops open on its own. Opens up right there. Standing before you isn't an entranceway.
It's a stair that leads nowhere.
No more.
I should say this. It isn't just an entranceway. You see that there's more past your vision, but blocking it is this fog. You go to Rinnill goes to put his hands through it, and nothing's happening. Steps away, and before any of you guys can do anything, you notice as out of this fog, there's and out steps an ethereal being. No eyes.
Oh.
I was gonna jokingly say Snoop Dogg.
It's Snoop, yeah. He's blazing it the fuck up.
Waka flocka flame! He found that assistant.
It's Afro motherfucking MAN smoking all that weed. I was gonna kill a vampire, but then I got high.
Oh my god.
Anyway, but this ethereal being looks, and you guys stop immediately. Yeah.
Without eyes.
Well, you feel like you don't see he's got eyes, but you feel he's looking right
Like
at
he's
you.
gazing at you.
He's like
He peers into your soul.
basically. As he looks at you.
And me?
He looks at Rinnill.
Okay.
He looks at Nari. And he looks back at you. Your heart is lost, but deemed worth entrance. He looks over at Rinnill. Your heart holds regret, but a longing to make it right. You have been chosen to enter. He looks at you. What do you hold true?
Oh, was asking me a question. I was like, what?
Yeah. Your mind and heart are scattered. Value cannot be weighed without knowing what it is you value. What do you truly value? Roll.
This portrait of Alucard.
So I'm assuming she's thinking and can't find the word.
She's just taken aback by this thing.
Nani the fuck.
Yeah. You go to look to the right or the left of you.
Me? My character? Okay.
And you notice that Rinnill isn't moving. Ashryn isn't moving. You look to the other side, and you're not looking at the castle anymore. You're looking at a dark void.
You've been cast to the shadow realm.
You turn around again, and you don't see anything. This being has taken you to a different, temporarily taken you somewhere else. And appears to the left of you. We base entrance on those who have, or on what they have in their heart. To you right now. It's kind of floating back. While your compatriots have set goals, it seems you've been lost. And lost for a long time. In front of you. He's like poop bamfing out and pooping back in. How long have you been journeying?
That was dramatic.
That was a dramatic win. Holy shit.
Oh, I'm asking all these questions.
It was 60.
60 years.
So 60 years. 60 years.
Have you found a purpose?
DM, help.
She stands there frozen for a moment. And you think about this for a long time. Your wanderlust caused you to you wanted to find yourself. You wanted to realize who you were. As you got to the city, you found it easy to jump into this mercenary work because it was so different from how things worked at the village. So easy that it kind of has become a routine. And you're poring over it in your heart, and you realize he's asking all these deep questions, but you have no answers, and you start to get terrified, and your mind starts to wander, and it starts to go, you don't know, like, I fight to see another day, I fight to be able to buy another meal, I fight for, and every answer pouring in your head is like shallower than the next one, and you come to the conclusion, you don't know. You really don't know. So, with that on your head, what's the first thing that blurts out of your mouth? I mean, you honestly don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Say that again.
I don't know. I don't know.
You see it start to drift back a little bit. At least you're honest with where your heart is. My master knows many different hearts and many different paths. Even those who do not know where their path will lead towards next. And he starts to drift forward to you again. And it drifts very close to your face. And you're very nervous. You don't know what's going to happen. And it reaches out. And it passes through your face. But when it passes through, you're expecting this cold, the cold touch of this ethereal being. But what you feel strangely is a warmness. It is fine to not know, as long as you're not lying to yourself. dwell starts to pull back for a moment. May this be the start of the learning of a new path. You may now enter. And as soon as you say that, you look and you're back in the room, and you look back again, and the mist is gone. Rinnill and Ashryn are looking at you, seeing you like looking back and forth.
What happened?
What are you talking about? There was a being that showed up, and it looked at you, and then all of a sudden it disappeared. What did you do?
I don't know. Let's just keep going.
Go keep going. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. So, as you immediately you go forward. There's nothing blocking the door now. The mist is gone. Oh my god. So, as you guys enter into this chamber, you enter back in, and I guess it's a good thing that I leave that there just in case. You enter into this giant but beautiful room. There's stained glass on the windows of a male on one and a female on another, and they're both facing one another. You look around and you see at the very end, looking right at the party, is an individual. Roll a perception check.
15 plus 5.
20.
20.
So not a natural 20, but you
No,
got a
I got 20.
Perception?
20.
14.
14. And then that's plus 7. So I also got 20. Rinnill and... sorry, I meant something with her. Naria and Rinnill noticed immediately the red hair. And as you look, and you start stepping closer, the familiar goatee, the silver highlights in the hair, you are standing in front of Amory Fairnight. And it's odd, because you feel, if this were a Dhampir that was a vampire or a Dhampir or whatever it's supposed to be at this point, you feel like he would be more defensive and he'd be shouting at you, but he's quiet. It's almost like he himself is lost. Like he's lost in thought or something. And what you realize as you walk up, so as you enter, he's standing up on this kind of pedestal area. And up is like, there's like the stained glass windows, there's like chairs kind of strewn around the place. And it it goes into a library area, like a small, library area. And, it goes up a few steps, and there's wood to contrast on the stone. And he's standing, holding this book. Or no, he's not holding a book. He's just standing there. And there's a bunch of books behind him. It looks like it's a very large study. You, however,
Don't find shit.
no. You notice that he has been looking at you the whole time. You feel the collar around your neck growing warmer and warmer and warmer. And you feel in your periphery there's a brightness coming from below you. And you can't really see it because it's on your neck. But you could assume that this crystal, which was dull when you found it, is shining really bright. And you and Rinnill are noticing that as well. And Renill's like, what's going on? Emery walks down. He starts to step down as you guys stop at the steps, or like close to the steps. He walks down and he looks at you, and he goes to reach out to you. Do you push his hand away?
I step back, just out of his reach.
He stops for a moment. He steps forward again.
Can I do an action, or is it just these two?
No.
What are you wanting to do?
I was gonna try and get in front of her to protect her, because I'm just.
Yeah, you can go. Just
okay.
There's no roll. Just go ahead and step
Okay,
inside.
so I'm gonna go in front of her, and I'm gonna just not attack him, but just kind of raise my shield. Just kind of. Oh wait, I don't have a shield. My spear.
Intimidate the fuck out of her.
Yeah, hold it up just to protect her, because I don't know what's going on either.
And he looks at you, and he's shocked, and he thinks for a moment. He takes a step back. You're protecting your friend. And I applaud that. But the necklace. The choker. That wasn't there the last time. You hear that word, like he wasn't here the last time, and your brain's kind of... It's fighting, like you're fighting because this nostalgia you've been feeling, stepping into this room specifically, it is so present in your soul. But for the life of you, you don't know, and you don't remember.
I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Oh my god.
I ain't found shit.
I'm taking a picture of this. Okay. I'm taking a picture of this.
Please tell me it was a nat one. I'll laugh my ass off.
Are we taking a picture, guys? Is it?
Everybody move in!
As he starts to move forward, Rinnill.
Trips on a banana peel.
No. This was an actual 20 on what he was going to do. He steps over to you and puts his hand on the spear.
What are you doing?
Lower it.
Why?
He knows her.
What?
He's a witch, throw him in the pool.
He knows her, and he pulls you away. And what he's about to explain to you, he pulls you away. Do you go with him, or do you...
No. I mean, I'm conflicted.
Contesting it.
But I just... I go with it. I try to fight it, though. I just go with it.
He puts his hand up. And you feel something loosen on your neck. And as it's loosening, you're noticing a wound start to open up on his arm, followed by another wound. Like you see, because he's wearing it like full black, but you start to see crimson, and then more crimson, and then more crimson, as it looks like he's straining to do what he's doing. What he's doing is he cast Mage Hand to try to undo the crystal. And as that hand is touching the crystal, because of its connection to him, it's doing some sort of damage to him. All of a sudden, for whatever reason, this intricate arcane lock that could not be cracked by anyone gets broken. And as the lock as the lock breaks, like a whirlwind, all of these memories suddenly start flooding into your head. You remember standing on the streets of the city, and he's preaching about your tribe and how important it is to keep the connection with nature. You remember this red-haired individual standing and watching every day, and it stood out because no one else would really sit and listen. You remember a conversation about misunderstood individuals, misunderstood beings. You remember the little spark that started to hit between the two of you. You remember him bringing you food every day during your long, hours-long preaching about keeping that connection to nature. You flash forward. You're in the castle. You remember sitting in this room reading all these books. You remember him showing you his family photos. You remember meeting his brother. You remember being brought into this castle. You remember the feeling of love forming in your heart, as this was the first person since leaving to truly connect with you and to truly care about what you care about. You remember the first kiss in the moonlight right next to the stained glass window. You remember your memory flashes to the bed. You remember making love for the first time. You flash into the armory. You remember the paranoia as the armed guards of the Ivanoran Crest started pushing further and further. You remember him trying to send you out as they got stormed. You remember being pulled away, screaming for Emery as he's being held at stake point, basically. You remember being thrown into a cell, being told you're being charged for collusion. You remember, and this is where it gets weird, you remember a drow cleric cowering in a corner saying, "I can't do it, I can't do it." And that voice sounds familiar. You remember screaming as your head was pushed against hard cobblestone and forcibly on your neck this diamond was put on. And last thing you remember before you come to again is the diamond turning on, and all of a sudden, who's Emery? What's the castle? What is this city? What's going on? Where am I? As a massive modify memory spell enchanted that crystal. All these memories come in, and you remember now, this was your lover. This was the one who cared about you. This was the one that listened to you talk about nature. You remember your long discussions about how people should be living in harmony and should be understanding what's going on. And you remember in those final days before you were ripped away, how scared he was. But you never knew exactly what. As these memories clear and you see him standing there, wounds, like blood gushing at the corners of his robes, as he falls down to one knee. And he looks up at you and he puts his hand down, and the mage hand disappears. Please tell me that did something. What do you do? Do you do anything, or do you say anything? Do you walk to him? in your silence as you're looking at him and all of these memories have flooded back, he looks up and you notice like a single tear starting to fall down amongst all of like the blood coming from his head.
Oh, now that's sad.
Oh no, he's hot when he's sad.
Yeah. Clearly undoing this lock was not supposed to be done without great consequence. He looks very badly hurt, but it doesn't look quite yet to be fatal.
Can I do healing word?
You want to cast healing word? Sure. You go to cast healing word. The wound. At what level?
Screw it, I'll do third.
You watch as you see the crimson start to shore up a little bit, but it's not having as much of an effect as you thought it was. And you're realizing that there was something else on that charm as well. There was a curse planted in that charm that basically, for the sake of gameplay, for like 10 minutes, if it doesn't kill you, like you're bleeding for a long time, and healing spells only do like minimal amount of healing. He looks back at you. He looks at you too. And at this point, you're realizing you look over at Rinnill, and he starts explaining why he's here. I was in that raid 100 years ago when they killed the family. I was there for support, and they ripped her out. And I was charged with the execution order. And I couldn't do it. It went against everything that their god stood for. And I couldn't. I begged and I pleaded for them not to execute her. And I'm glad that they didn't. But they said that they would make it as if her life here never existed. They threw me in a cell after that. And you watch as he undoes his robe and he pulls it down to his back, and you notice he's got like an undershirt on, but visible within, like, where, because it's like a sleeveless shirt, visible there with where the sleeves aren't showing are parts of a very horrible brand, an arcane brand. They branded me as a traitor and banished me from the clergy. And he puts the robe back on and ties it. I was here to get a second chance to make things right. And if he wasn't going to do that, I was going to. And Emery looks over at him and then looks over at you. He looks at you. You're new here. I'm sorry, this is the introduction. I'm Emery. And I don't blame you for being defensive. This is a very complicated situation. The god was infiltrated a long time ago, and their sole purpose now is to eradicate us, when all we've wanted to do for generations is stay peaceful. And he looks over at you. Please tell me you remember me now. Are you doing anything? Are you wanting to do anything? What is?
I'm just
Marius
my character is conflicted at this point.
Doesn't know what to do
because
at this point.
she's the only one that
doesn't have that connection
to any of this. She just wanted the fucking money.
She's getting
And now she's just like, what the hell is going on here? There's a love story. This guy is branded by the church. He's a traitor now.
It's a better love story than Twilight.
And it's just like, what?
She's trying to process everything. Basically, right?
Yes. She doesn't know what's going on. She's so shocked.
Yeah, I get you. So, do you do anything?
He just asked if I remember.
Yeah. He goes to get up and he stumbles a little bit. And he gets back down on a knee and he's like, it's a hell of a curse they put on the thing. I need to sit down for a moment. And he gets himself to sit on the stairs. And right then, you hear the door in the back. You hear the marching of 3 individuals as you see General Hull and the other 2 guards.
What the hell are you doing here?
You were supposed to kill him.
Well, yes, but you didn't say anything about coming. I thought it was us 3.
Emery looks over. What did you do to her? And Hall says, we did her a favor. And there's this kind of tense moment, and the guards all pull their swords out. They look at you, Naria. Naria is like, you should have killed him when you had the chance. Because now you will have to die for aiding and abetting a murderer. As he says that, Rinnill says, get back now. And this is a massive room, right? Mm-hmm. And kind of, with his strength, kind of pushes you guys back to the wood plating. Or the wood plane, right? You guys don't have enough time to react. As you see something starting to grow in his hand. And it grows, and it grows, and it grows bigger, and it grows bigger, and it grows bigger. And he said, this is my chance. And he pulls back, and a giant ball of fire is in his hands as he throws it.
Jesus.
Yeah, that wind is perfect for what's about to happen.
It's perfect for atmosphere, but it's not perfect for outside.
He throws a level 3 fireball right at the guards who have just entered. And it's a massive chamber. Like, this chamber is hundreds of feet big, which is why he told you guys to get back. He throws this fireball, and it explodes at the entrance, right? It's a loud explosion and fire erupting everywhere. He obliterates the center point where the guards in General Hall were standing. The fire is immense, and you see the 3 bodies on the ground. You see General Hall's body start to shift. Start to change. You see the body turn around. You see it start to grow. You see fur start to sprout. You see giant, bulging muscles ripping out of the charred chainmail and remains. You see him climb up again bipedal as a 10-foot lichen stares right at you three. You know vampires have no space here. It ends tonight. I need you guys to roll initiative.
Can I re-roll that? That fucking fell off.
Yeah, go ahead.
4.
Okay. Okay. I need to bring it up in my document. It's 8:13. Yeah, we're in the final battle. We're good to go.
I should hope so. It's a 10-foot werewolf.
Yeah, basically. You basically just got into the middle of like Underworld, basically. You're like, why?
Why couldn't it be Van Helsing?
Whichever. Okay, so
Whichever one tickles your fancy, Mira.
basically, like what he just did was he threw a fireball.
His chair is like falling apart.
He threw a fireball to show the true form. He killed 2 other guards. But revealed that was in fact a werewolf, just trying to eradicate a vampire because, I don't know, history?
Because, I don't know, racist?
I guess, yeah.
Because vampires and werewolves hate each other?
They fucking hate each other. Very true, very true, very true.
Oh, I just realized why you said Van Helsing. I just remember now that movie. It's been years. Now I remember why. Because that's right. He, she, they, it, somebody. I forgot
Don't
who.
assume gender.
Somebody, I forgot who it was a werewolf. And then
Van Helsing was a werewolf.
that was Hugh Jackman's character, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's right.
He turned into a werewolf.
Yes, very true.
And then
Very true.
he going after Dracula, but it turns out at the end, his love interest died.
Rip, never forget.
But in time for the curse to be
Very
lifted.
It did. That's
Before
right.
Okay.
she died.
Yes.
25 to 20.
What?
I'm going down. Initiative
Oh.
order. 25 to 20. 20 to 15.
15.
15. I have a 19.
I'm
so
gonna be last. I'll tell you that.
Rinnill and...
You never know. They could have rolled a 1.
Rinnill
That would have been funny.
Ashryn. Okay.
You
and
mean the
then...
werewolf rolled a 1?
Exactly. This ends tonight. Rolls a 1. Damn it!
Fuck! I guess not. Okay.
Damn it, y'all got
Then-
to jump on
Yeah, it
it.
ends tonight when it's my turn.
It all is tonight. And then you got a 4?
Yep. I'm the last person.
Well, I mean, okay.
Wait, I just realized this whole time she's got lucky.
Oh, shit, yeah, okay. During this
She could've
battle, if
been-
you have a bad roll, you can re-roll.
She could have been fucking rolling it.
It's okay. Just leave it. I don't want.
I'll help you with lucky at this point. It's okay.
I just want cookies.
I know. We're
Postmates
we're
and
almost
cookies.
we're almost over.
But it has to be the certain ones I want, though. I don't know if they can deliver those.
Well, what are you wanting?
The ones, the
Chips Ahoy Chewies?
no.
McDonald's ones?
No. It's the round
Golden
cookie
Oreos?
things with chocolate in the middle that looks like a sandwich. You know what I'm talking about? It's
Ice cream sandwiches?
No, it's in a bag. It's kind of expensive, these cookies. Milano.
Oh, Milanos!
Milanos!
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
those.
Postmate them.
We gotta see if it exists. Alright, it's on the post.
Alright, you ready?
Anyway, let's...
Romano claims Lucky only works with nat ones, but that's not how I know Lucky to work.
I
But
mean, someone's got lucky in our... I'm gonna look.
I don't know
During this
because
time, I'm gonna
because
look.
campaign 1 critical role rules were like,
Let's kill a doggo. Let's go.
let's go kill the doggo. Okay, well, let's see. Let me bring up the board.
At this
Yeah,
point, my
no.
character's like, what the fuck is this shit?
Is your character just like I
This
only
is some
want
bullshit.
I just wanted money.
to.
And now I got tangled in a
So-
love story? A werewolf?
So you got like this is the area here.
Is it a circle?
Yeah, it's a circle. So
Oh,
you're
that's not the werewolf.
You're standing here.
We're behind.
You're
Rinnill, right?
Rinnill standing right here.
Okay.
The werewolf is standing back here.
This thing is freaking huge. So.
It is fucking massive.
It says nothing about nat ones.
Yeah, it's
I think
nothing.
I think she's thinking of something different.
There's something else that involves like a lucky
I think that's the
reroll.
halfling thing.
I think that is the halfling thing. Yeah, no, the feet luck.
The feet lucky.
The feet lucky is different. Yeah,
Has
that's
nothing to do with nat
nothing to do
ones.
with nat ones. Yeah.
Anywho.
She's thinking like easy.
Okay, which is her
character.
Okay, so top of the round, it's Rinnill.
Oh, thank God it's not me.
Oh yeah, no, it's all good.
So I'm going first.
I don't know what
He-
to do first.
Is going to
Let him sweat it out.
I'm
for a
bringing it
round.
up in my book right now.
What? What's wrong?
thinking.
You're thinking of what you want to
You
do.
sound distressed when you say.
Okay.
I have so many spells to look through. I'm just like, fuck, what do I want?
He's going to... 120 feet.
I also have to look at things.
File on the targets within range control. You cast this while using this less you create 3 rays. Okay, so he's going to stand here. And he's going to cast Scorching Ray at the werewolf, 120 feet. So he's going... Alright, Scorching Ray. Mark that off. Okay. So he's casting Scorching Ray. He's going to make 3 attacks at the werewolf. Let me see his AC. Oh, nice. Not that bad. Okay. So
oh, nice.
3 attacks. Alright. Oh my fucking god. Are you serious? Alright, what's the plus?
Please let it be.
Oh, okay. So 14. Okay, all 3 hit. Oh, shit. Okay. So each hit is 2d6 fire damage, and he hits all 3. So, okay, 9, 13, 18. Is there any pluses to that? 18. Okay, so him standing there, he fires 1, 2, 3, and you see it hit the werewolf, and you see his furs like kind of cinched. He took a meaty hit of 18 points of damage. The werewolf kind of grins and is like, Ashryn, you're up.
I'm gonna have to get out some other dice if I want to use this one. Damn it.
If you need some dice, I've got plenty of dice
I've
ready.
got plenty too.
Okay.
Where are we all at right now?
So you guys are all there.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, sorry about that. Let's see.
Okay, so I'm gonna get 10 feet in front of him.
10 feet in front of him, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna use poison spray.
Poison spray, what do I got to do for that?
Creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or take 1d12 poison damage.
1d12?
Damage increases by 1d12 when you reach 5th level, 11th.
Alright, what am I, and what's your, is it against spellcasting?
Spellcasting modifier?
Yes, what's your spellcasting modifier that I'm rolling against?
13.
Oh, that's a natural 2! He fails. Okay.
So I gotta get 2d12s.
2d12s. I got
I have some.
Okay.
I just didn't anticipate getting
having to use your d12s. Okay, cool.
Because usually I'm like d4, d6, d8.
I get you. Okay. 2d12s, alright.
11 and 9.
Oh!
20.
So 20. Yeah.
20 points of... Oh my god.
That's a cantrip, by the way.
You watch as the werewolf... and he's hit with the poison and he takes a step back. He's a little hurt right now. But he looks over and he's like, you know it's not that easy. And it's his turn. And you just poisoned him. So he's going to do some stuff to you.
That's fine.
Steps here. He's going to use his multi-attack against you.
I can't look that up.
I have the stuff right here. So he's going to attempt to bite you. He's going to bite you and use his claws against you. So
That's hot.
That's rude.
first is a... Oh, no. That does not hit. That was a natural 4. So he goes to bite you and he misses immediately. He goes to swipe at you. 13.
That's my AC.
Okay, that hits. So you're going to take... you take... Oh, wow, that was shit. Okay. 4 plus 2. You take 6 points of slashing damage. He's looking at you, and
He injured.
he's very angry right now. Next, so Emery's sitting there, and his wounds... He doesn't do anything, but you can tell he's thinking that he may have to do something. Moving on around before the wind kills us.
Creates a tornado in the
creates a
room.
tornado. Naria, what are you doing?
How far does the longbow go?
Longbow. Longbow goes, I think, what, 80
Let's see if we
feet?
can look this up first.
Yeah. You're probably going to have an easier time because I'm trying to find...
Where the fuck is it?
It's at the bottom.
No. Oh, yes, it is. 150, 600.
150 feet? Oh, yeah. You can fire from right
So, if I want to fire it, do I have to move so I don't hit her?
there.
You can move at an angle.
Yeah, so if I...
Yeah,
like,
you can move to an angle and you'd be just fine. As long as you're at an angle.
So, like...
Not directly in front,
5,
basically.
10, 15, 25, 30... So if I went right here...
You want right here?
Right here,
Alright,
so
you're
if
going to
I
guard
fire,
there?
You also
okay.
don't have
You're
to
not
go
going to hit her. You're not going to hit her.
And then...
You also don't have to go your full movement. You can just
You don't
like
have to go
stay
full
back a
movement
little
either,
bit
yeah.
Okay.
and still hit him at an angle.
Okay, so as long as I'm at an angle then.
Yeah.
I want right here though.
Okay.
So here's my next question. The silver arrows, are they going to do extra damage to him because he's a werewolf?
We're about to find out, I guess.
Okay, then I'm going to use it.
Alright, go ahead.
I'm gonna use it
And
for my
so you
longbow.
grab one of the silver arrows and you get it ready.
Yep.
You go to try to fire. What? Go ahead and roll an attack.
Roll d20. Plus 1, or plus your strength.
Plus 3.
7.
Oh.
No,
You go to shoot the arrow,
I did an
and the
arrow.
first one just misses. You have a second attack. You can roll
Okay.
again.
Oh, okay. So
Yes.
I have 18 of these things.
Oh man.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
12, 15.
15. Okay. Let me see. 15. Cool. 15 hits.
Okay.
What does she roll for that?
So
Because it's a different type of arrow. Is it going to be the same?
arrows are how much? So the longbow, that's 1d8. Roll a d8 for me. Just
The diamond looking one.
get the diamond looking one. No, that's the.
That, no.
that one.
The-
This one. The actual
This
diamond.
one, yeah.
Oh, okay.
The Sims icon.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh! You feel it, and it gets the shoulder. And you feel that. You initially go, shit, it didn't do something that well. It didn't do that bad. I only did 1 point of damage. However, he takes.
It explodes.
Okay. You see where the silver hits. You see the fur around it start to immediately fall off.
Oh, yeah.
You feel that even with just hitting it in the shoulder, you did a little more damage than you thought you did. And you still have a bonus action. You already used your movement, but you still have a bonus action.
So what can she do?
She can use...
I don't know which of her spells are going to be bonus actions.
the cantrips, I think. Let's see
She
what she's
doesn't
got.
really... She's paladin. They don't technically
She's
have a
got
cantrip.
the lay on hands or divine smite. Okay, so
Divine Smite is mainly for
when she does her
when you're already doing attacks.
okay, alrighty, that's fine. So
She can't
that'll be good.
Yeah.
Okay, top of the round, it is Rinnill. Rinnill is going to say 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I think his movement's 30. 30. Yeah, 30 feet. Okay.
Yeah, elves are 30.
He's just going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And he's going to use his bonus action to switch from the mace to his crossbow. Or to ready his crossbow, so he uses his bonus action for that. And he's going to try to attack the werewolf.
Not
He goes to
happening.
shoot it. He thinks for a moment it jams, but he moves it for a moment and it's good to go. I rolled a natural 5. That did not go well. So without much more he could do, Ashryn, it is your go.
It's a lot to work out.
What do I do with my inspiration?
So when you roll next time, you're gonna roll an additional. It was a D8 I gave you. So when you roll, so say for your 12, you roll the D8 and you add the 7 and the 12 as well. So you can use your inspiration for whatever roll you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay. Oh no, wait, that's concentration. None of that, then.
None of that.
Who's
Just
Emery again?
that's the vampire. The vampire.
Oh yeah, I forgot about it.
You had a lot to process in like the last
She
30
was distracted
minutes.
by the Alucard joke.
That is true. That is very
Emery.
true.
This is some random person we got in our party.
That's not Emmerich.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's right.
That's not Emmerich.
That's your hot vampire man. That's
Apparently.
right, yeah, and you got a hot vampire man. I'm Jolie. He's dying, but you know.
Jelly, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be interesting. You guys are doing. You guys had a really good first round of combat, and we're almost done. All right, what you doing?
I'll do Thunderwave.
Thunderwave? Okay, what is?
Pikachu's use Thunderwave.
Pikachu use Thunder Smash. Pikachu.
Venusaur.
All right, so you got. Is that just an attack roll, or is that do I need to succeed on a
Each
throw?
creature in a 15-foot cube originating from you must make a Constitution saving throw. On a failed save, a creature takes 2d8 thunder damage and is pushed 10 feet away. On a successful save, the creature takes half as much and isn't pushed.
Okay.
In addition, on secured objects that are completely within the area, the effect are automatically pushed 10 feet away, and the spell emits a thunderous boom audible out to 300 feet.
Okay, so it's what Constitution save you said?
Yes.
Okay, that circle there is Emery.
Okay, thank you.
I forgot to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, okay.
I just counted. We're out of the range.
I can use this other.
We're not gonna get hit.
Are you going to use it at a higher level?
I'll do 2.
Okay, so let me do the Constitution saving throw. So against what? 13 for your spell DC? Oh, I'm sorry. Natural 19.
I fucking hate you.
Well, doesn't he take half damage?
Yeah.
Still roll your damage.
Hate the dice, not good.
I'm sorry. It's the first good roll he's had.
Oh, second level or higher. Okay. So, okay.
So he's not going to get pushed back, but he's still going to take half damage, though.
Okay, so it says 2d8, but then it says when you cast this using a spell slot of second level or higher, it increases by 1d8. So 3d8?
3d8, yes.
Okay.
So do 3d8, and then I'll take half of that damage.
Let's see if we can figure out math.
Yeah,
In our strong suit.
that's fine.
13. Half of 13.
Alright, so he takes 6 points of damage.
6.5.
You can't do 0.5s.
Okay.
Okay.
I was trying
So
to help.
you go to
gotta
use
round
it.
it down.
He keeps his footing down, but you feel the electricity pulse through him, and it hits on the silver, and he's like, "Ugh!" He's looking pretty hurt. But it is his turn. He's going to use his multi-attack against you again. So
He must really like her.
well,
I'm right in
she's-
front of
she's
him.
right
Yeah.
there.
He don't want to move.
First
too
is
lazy.
Yep.
11 for
Nope.
his bite. Okay. 12.
Nope.
You see as he goes to bite and misses, and when he goes to swipe, he swipes with the arm that has the silver arrow, and it causes him to whiff hard. Yeah, like with the hit. And he holds it. He's like,
I was gonna jokingly be like, as a reaction, can I grab that arrow and push it in?
roll.
But it's not my turn.
Let's.
don't know if
You
it's
have a
there.
reaction though. If you want to use it as
Try
your
it.
reaction, you're gonna have to roll a strength contest with him, and strength is his strong suit, so you can try.
It's fine. I've seen weirder things happen.
Okay.
I've seen teams.
I've seen teams.
Nope. We're not doing that. one.
Natural 19.
I rolled a 2. So.
But it wasn't a
Not
natural
happening.
one. You go to grab him, and he grabs your arms like, and he shoves it back. You move back 5 feet.
Yay!
With that,
Do I fall down too?
no. Actually, make a dexterity saving throw.
I was joking, but okay.
Make a dexterity saving throw.
Don't. Oh!
That fell. Go ahead and reroll. Go ahead and reroll.
Okay, so I rolled 17 plus 6.
You rolled 17. That's fine. You feel yourself kind of start to fall back, but you're able to catch yourself and you jump, just keep forward, not losing much of your momentum.
Cool, so I'm not prone.
You're not knocked prone.
That's important.
Alrighty. Naria, roll a perception check for me, just really quick before your turn.
I'm gonna scoot past you.
Hang on. Perception. You okay? 10 total.
10. Okay. You can't tell if the wounds are closing up at all or not on Emery, but you can. What you can tell is it is a little bit. The crimson's starting to dry, which means he's not bleeding out as much. Mm-hmm. And he sits there. He's like. He looks at you. He goes, "I just need a little more time." It is your turn. What are you gonna do?
So, I guess I'll use my inspiration because it's there.
You use your inspiration
Yes.
on your attacks?
And I'm gonna use another silver arrow.
Use another silver.
Yes.
All right. So the inspiration is only going to be for the first attack. But go ahead and roll your first attack.
So with this, right?
Yes. Roll your d20,
Okay.
and then take a diamond
Okay.
and roll this diamond.
Alright,
You
so
roll the green one.
This one, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's 6 plus 16. That's 24
Is it?
plus
Is
3
it 20 or 22?
or 22. Yeah,
Yeah,
22
22.
plus 3. That's 25 to hit.
Okay.
Yes, that definitely hits.
Okay.
Alrighty. So go ahead.
Can I aim it at his head?
You want to aim it at his head?
Yeah, why not?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Let's try it.
Since you know that it does more damage, you're now going to roll 2d8 damage. So 2 of the little diamonds.
So, okay.
You roll 2.
So,
This
this one and this one?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Okay. I'll move these. Okay.
That's fine.
6?
6 points of damage.
Okay. Yeehaw, Skyrim.
As it goes, it doesn't directly go into his head, but more ends up going into his neck. And you see the strength of the silver starting to course around his neck.
Woo!
You see the silver growing more and more and more.
I used my inspiration.
He is not looking good. You still have a second attack.
Oh shoot! I gotta take down. Okay, hang on. And then I use.
You've got over 10 arrows. I think we'll be.
He's,
okay
by the
if
way,
you forget.
he's looking with this 2 silver arrows in him. He's looking really rough. Really
Do it
rough.
again.
Do it again. Alrighty, roll that damage.
This is the final boss. I'm not gonna save these arrows.
Let's go. Roll your
We're
d20.
not gonna puss out now.
Yeah, man.
Roll your d20.
Uh-oh.
Do I add it to strength?
Add plus 3, yes.
7.
Oh, you go to fire the second one. It just misses his head.
No.
So where are these arrows right now?
We have one in his neck and then the one in his shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah.
With that, it is Rinill's turn, top of the round. So Rinnill, bonus action, switches to his silver mace.
Yeah.
And he goes
Being a thief pays off.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. And he is going to attack the... actually, because he was here, right?
Yes, yes.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, that wouldn't make it exactly. Okay.
I mean, he could try.
Yeah.
So he goes, and he's going to attack him. Okay, 4. Come on, baby. Oh, that's cocked.
Oh, baby, a triple.
Not baby, a triple.
Okay. Oh my god, that hits.
Yeah.
That hits.
He surprised himself.
Alrighty.
Oh my god,
It hit.
Oh my god.
So you
Mom,
watch.
look at me.
You watch as he looks at the silver in the neck and the silver in his shoulder. His eyes are deadlocked on his head. He throws his shield down and 2 hands the mace and says, "I'm gonna make this right." And he swings and clobs him in the head.
Oof.
You see his skull bash in.
Oof.
And he clobs it again, breaking his skull. And with each hit, he's hitting him again and again and again.
How many times did he get to go?
Hey, that's not fair. The rest of us want to go.
Well, he killed him. He clods him, and as you're seeing more and more fur fall, and you see as the skin starts to deteriorate with each hit, and the skin starting to melt, and you see the broken bones and the blood like falling out, until finally he hits down with the butt end of the mace straight through his skull, out his mouth.
Oof. I did it, gang. The city's saved.
Thanks to the cleric?
Thanks to, what's his name?
Rinnill.
Neil. Thanks to Neil.
Thanks to Neil here.
Thanks to Jeremy Renner.
He goes, and he stumbles for a moment. He's like, I guess that's what the Silva was for, right?
Yeah.
Hey, Win, the battle's over. Chill.
Emery sits there, and you now notice that his wounds have closed up. And as they close up, he kind of gets up, and he still seems a little hurt, but the curse is wearing off. It wasn't a he was a very powerful sorcerer. Oh, vampire's like who he is, but he also for like
the class.
The class. Yeah.
Ah.
He's his
race and his class.
He basically was the equivalent of not a sorcerer, but a sorcerer, because it runs in the family blood. Their use of magic.
Oh, okay.
So
it would either be that or wizard, depending.
Yeah. Well, wizard is taught. Sorcerer is bloodline. From the way I've seen it.
Sorcerer, then he's sorcerer.
Sorcerers can also be cursed.
And you're realizing that the reason why he's got all these books is because of the magic that they use. Mm-hmm. So he gets up. He's like, thank God for all those years of practicing magic. I don't think I'd be alive if I didn't have some sort of resistance or something.
There's no way for me to go over and heal him.
You can definitely try.
Okay.
Knowledge is power. Ouch.
So you go to, I'll say you use healing word, or is it lay on hands that she has? What is it the paladins have?
Lay on hands.
That's what I have.
So you use the lay on hands.
We don't have to go to him though. Or
we're not in combat now. So for the sake of role play and wrapping this up,
okay.
So you go up to him and you use lay on hands, and you see the crimson drying up even more and more. There's probably some small scratches still, but they're not the open wounds they were, and that lay on hands definitely helps. Thank you. That takes care of the werewolf problem. Well, it doesn't take care of the fact that they're probably going to try to send the whole army after you. But I thank you. And he looks at Rinnill, and he's like, I don't blame you for what happened to her. Thank you for trying to make this right. And Rinill's just like, he's got the adrenaline's finally dying now. He's like, I wish there was more I could have done. You brought it back to me. That's all that matters. And he looks at you. He walks towards you. He just gives you this big old hug with the strength that he can manage. And that nostalgia finally makes sense now. You're finally home again. And he's just holding you, and he kisses your forehead, and he's like, I never thought I'd see the day. Please tell me you were safe this whole time. I said, please tell me you were safe this whole time.
Trying to think of something funny.
Yes, she was.
Yes, she was.
She was.
I'll take your silence as a yes.
I was gonna jokingly say I just turned into a cat.
Do you want that to actually happen?
Sure.
What?
I'm a druid. I can change into animals.
Change into a cat, and the cat is like in his arms now.
And it's a black cat.
It's a black cat, and it jumps onto the shoulder, like wraps around the neck, and he's like, "Oh, I always loved when you did this." Scritches the back of the ears and whatnot. It's like, well, there's that could happen from you, but
What do you envision now?
wait for the next onslaught. At least I know that I have some form of ally somewhere.
Next
When they
time
ask-
you take
yeah.
the contract.
Da 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 da.
Is there any way you and her can possibly flee somewhere safer?
We might. We got a lot of talking to do. But
Talk about.
yeah, I almost said that. We have a lot of talking to do, but I just need these wounds to heal first. Unless, and he takes the necklace around his neck. Take the necklace and breaks it from his neck, and he goes up to the charred remains where like the blood splatter was, and he kind of drags his silver medallion in the blood, and he hands it to you. Unless you say this is the trinket. And Rinnill goes, were we supposed to bring his head?
That's what he said, but I mean that was just the governor though. He's
The
kind of
governor.
no, well, the general, excuse me. He's kind of dead now, so I mean, it's not like they're gonna know, right?
You take a look at the contract again, and you realize that it just said dead or alive. And as you're parsing through, you're reading, by technicality, it actually did not say in the contract that in order to fulfill the contract, you needed to bring his head.
The general just
just
said that.
You rolled low on the perception check earlier, but you were on the right track that it was a personal vendetta. Because he was also a fucking werewolf, and he was in a family of werewolves.
So at this point, then I'll just take the medallion then and
Tell them you killed me. Gives us at least enough time to flee. Thank you. And standing there in the moonlight, the druid has a cat around his neck, purring against his cheek. Nuzzles. You stand there with the medallion, ready to return it, collect the contract, and you and Rinnill eventually go your separate ways, at least from this contract. Was there anything you wanted to say to Rinnill on the return journey, or is it just a very quiet, awkward walk back?
So are we gonna see each other again anytime soon? For maybe another adventure?
You know, with that general gone, I don't feel as nervous. So I'll keep posted at the board.
Let's have a drink sometime.
Let's have a drink now. This was about night.
Why?
So
Wait.
you two, as you go back,
We split the money, obviously.
split the
right?
money. You guys get your parts. There's when you go to collect you turn in the contract. You turn in the contract with the medallion. Actually, I do want to roleplay this real quick. So there's going to be a couple rolls, and then we'll be done.
Okay.
So you get there, and you get to the person who turned in the contract, and they're like, "Oh, hey, good to see you again, Narya. Is everything all right?"
Yeah, usual adventures.
The usual.
Rinnill says, "We suffered some casualties, but we took care of the vampire problem." Casualties? Yeah, rolling my deception. No. Fuck.
What he means is
what he was gonna say was we lost.
We lost. There were some other vampires there and other enemies, and
Was this the contract that the general was on? Did he make it out alright?
Oops.
I didn't see him.
You didn't.
No.
See, roll deception check for me. Roll a deception check.
Which one? This
Can
one?
Rinnill
Yeah.
aid her at all?
Yeah. So Rinnill, hold on.
So, hey,
Hold on.
He's aiding you, so
I'm
roll it
aiding you.
again.
Roll it again with
Okay.
advantage.
So whatever the higher one was.
I have a 2.
Okay.
What was the first roll?
It was a 3.
Okay, hold on.
Oh my god.
Roll one more time. Use a luck point for this. Come on.
11.
Okay, thank
Alright,
god.
so
Plus
Plus, what am I using?
deception. Plus 2.
Wait.
So 13.
Wait, 2, it's 5. Wait, hang on.
Your deception.
Where?
Deception.
Right there.
Oh, okay, so 13, yeah.
You 13.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
a lot better than
let
3.
I'm gonna roll a perception check for him. No, he's fucking stupid.
Oh my god, guys.
No, a perception check on or an insight check on the guy that you're turning this stuff into.
Oh, okay.
Just
I thought you were talking for Neil. I was
No.
no.
Neil tried to roll for his deception and he rolled a 2. So that didn't go well.
I was like, oh my god, guys, come on, I can't help you.
So, for a moment, there's like a pause and he's kind of processing everything. Okay, well, he said he was going to go check up on things, but
Really?
we also had that Tarask thing, so maybe he meant the Tarask thing. Regardless. Alright, here we go, and he hands you hands each of you guys a decent sized satchel.
Oh.
And you're not used to these small bags, so when you open them up, you pull them out, and it's not gold, it's platinum.
Oh.
There's
Good.
30 platinum, which is like 3,000 gold.
Per each?
Per each.
Oh my gosh.
It was that big of a contract.
Well,
Also,
Y'all are fucking
you didn't.
rich.
Also, I didn't have you guys roll for it. This was technically a personal contract. So there's some other things.
well,
There's
nice
other things.
working with you. Thank you for the money.
Thank you for
Until
making me
next-
rich.
Yeah.
Until next time.
You know where to find me.
You know where to find me. You bring it, I deal it.
Yep.
So as you guys leave, Rinill's like, come on, let's go get a drink.
Yes.
You guys walk in the crisp night air to the local tavern and proceed to get fucking shit-faced after all of that.
For our reward. That's our reward.
And that is where the one shot ends.
Yay.
Thank you guys.
We did it.
That was fun. That was cool.
We didn't die from
That
the
was
skeleton.
that was 3.5 hours.
You got reunited with your lover.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys lived
that I
happily-
didn't know I had.
Yeah, you guys lived happily ever after the end.
Yeah.
I'm saying you're living happily ever
Hell
after.
yeah.
I mean, I'm a cat. So.
Yeah,
Yes.
so that was it. That was our one shot. You'll see us for the Homebrewers episode 10 during Extra Life. We're going to do it on the Sunday of Extra Life, which is going to be great. Like we said at the beginning, no podcast next week. We're not going to be doing a podcast till Sunday, the 10th of November, and all of that fun stuff. And then we'll be doing the follow-up podcast on the 16th during Extra Life. So thank you all so much. I hope you guys enjoyed this one shot. I tried to streamline it as much as possible. It was still 3.5 hours, but that's Dungeons & Dragons. So thank you guys so much for watching and listening. And until next time, we love you all, and I hope you guys take care.